Let me see you try.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing all right, man. It's a Tuesday, long weekend as well. Happy Deepavali to everyone who celebrated. By the way, belated Deepavali to everybody. Long weekend. My brain's still in holiday mood.
Oh, bro. It was so hard to wake up this morning
Yeah?
and like go back to my work emails.
Right.
I had a wonderful Deepavali weekend. Shout out to anyone who was celebrating, especially Div royalties in the house, right? I believe.
What's up? Yes.
What's up, Div? I hope you had a great holiday. And before we shout out to everyone, right, bro? I just need to talk about two things, bro.
Two things.
bro.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bro. The Marvels, bro.
Oh.
The Marvels. I
Why?
watched it over the weekend.
Okay, tell
me.
me.
Can I hear your thoughts? Can we have an honest discussion about that first?
Yes, we shall. We must. Because here's the thing, right? I feel bad that it got, this is the news, right? It got the lowest opening weekend of any Marvel movie. And I talked about it on my gaming stream, Mr. Young GG on Twitch. Subtle plug. Not so subtle plug for my gaming stream, but I talked about it yesterday, right? I feel like a lot of factors contributing to this. I will say this outright. I think it's a solid Marvel movie. It's not the best. It's like a good B+ player. It's like a Bryan Danielson. It's like an Edge. It's like who in the WWE right now? It's like a Dolph Ziggler.
Oh dear God. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you did enjoy it to a certain extent, right? On your behalf. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Did you not? I'm surprised. I'm very interested to like get your point of view now.
Okay, I did. Okay, so here's the funny thing is, right? So me and my girlfriend, we talk about it, long weekend. Let's catch up on a couple of movies. So the Marvels came out, Hunger Games came out.
Oh yeah.
So there's and then she's a really big Bollywood fan. So there's this movie called Tiger 3. So it's like a huge Deepavali movie, right? So she wanted to watch that as well.
I see.
But here's the thing, right, bro? This is damn random, lah. But Bollywood is creating their own Avengers, by the way.
I am not surprised.
Yeah.
China also have.
Yeah, like their superheroes Avengers, and one of them is Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh, of course, it has to be Shah Rukh Khan. He's like a legend.
Yeah, and then the other guy who's like a big deal, his name is Salman Khan. He's the one that is Tiger. So like basically they are like the Expendables, all are like badass, like hero, that kind of shit. So they're building their own universe there. So for her, she was telling me, between watching that and watching the Marvels, right, I'd rather watch Tiger 3. She said
really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I never watched the what Tiger 3?
Tiger. So
Tiger 3. Yeah. So I don't know.
Tiger 3 is literally the prequel. So there has been a Tiger 1, Tiger 2, and there's Tiger 3.
Oh, but see, okay. Here's the thing, and yes, it was part of my 45 minutes. I spent. Here's the thing with my gaming streams. Like I always say, I want to jump right into the game. I want to finish the game, and I end up talking cock with chat for 45 minutes. Najran was there. He knows what I'm talking about. I want to say hello to Tovakin, Div Royalty, McJohn Mouse, Edison, Muhammad Gafdafi. What's up, everybody? It's good to see y'all. Hope you all had a great long weekend. So here's the thing about the Marvels, right?
Yep.
I think this year has not been a good year for superhero movies. In fact, some might say the past 2 years, 3 years, right? Ever since the high of Endgame, it's like the high of WrestleMania. Okay, I'm going to try to link this to wrestling. After the high of WrestleMania, it's like the come down is real. It's huge, right? And it feels like it's you cannot compare. See, here's the problem with corporate greed. Let's call it that, right? Because after Endgame, after the success of Endgame, and then they launched Disney Plus. Do you remember the new CEO of Disney? He was like, "Oh, we must now pump out lots and lots and lots of hours of content." What happened? Lots more quantity, the quality drop. You know what I mean?
Yes, agreed. No, and I completely agree. But I would dare say there has been some gems in Phase 4 and Phase 5. Like, No Way Home, of course,
Guardians.
was another high point. Guardians this year.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure you also finished watching Loki season 2.
Yes. Oh my god.
That was an amazing thing. But don't you think, bro, they cannibalize their own audience by releasing Loki season 2, the finale, on the same weekend as the Marvel? Who would you rather do? Who would you rather not do lah? Who would you rather choose to watch?
Considering my preferences, it would be Brie Larson. But anyway, no, I get that as well. But I think any Marvel fan would just watch both, to be honest.
Yes.
But here's the other thing as well. You have to understand, right? And not every content needs to be watched by every Marvel, and that's one of their issues right now. I think they have to structure it in a way where you don't have to watch Loki to understand Secret War that's coming up. I think that's a very important point because I don't know about it, and I posed this question to my chat as well. Is this multiverse timey-wimey thing too deep for the casuals? Is it too, like, do you need to know too much? It feels like sometimes going to watch a Marvel movie requires homework.
Yeah, and I think the problem is people really don't have time. We already complain about it ourselves. We can't watch all the wrestling in the world. So imagine trying to keep track with like a IP. It's really, really hard. I think, right, and I'm gonna link this back to my conversation with my girlfriend. So basically, we agreed to disagree. She went to watch Tiger Tree with her aunt, and me, I'm the guy. I watch Marvels alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the funny thing is, right, apparently according to demographic, right, still 65% of the audience that watched are still males. You know.
Of
so
what?
the
Marvels?
Who watched the Marvels over the weekend. They did like a demographic check.
Okay.
Majority are still males that's watching Marvel.
Okay.
So
do you think
it's interesting, right?
Do you think it's just a Captain Marvel Brie Larson problem? No, okay. There are a litany of problems leading up to this. I will tell you right now. They couldn't promote the movie because of the writers and actors strike. Literally 1 week before the movie launched, then the actors strike was sort of lifted, right? So now then you're seeing these clips of Brie Larson interviewing whoever, Iman Vellani and all the main stars because they couldn't do any promo. Let's not forget that. Two, the freaking the shit superhero movies that had come out this year. I'm sorry, but I always default to the average audience. The average audience doesn't know the difference between DC and Marvel. So they're going to lump The Flash. They're going to lump Blue Beetle. What's the other one?
Oh my God, I didn't watch that. Yeah, Blue Beetle.
No, you know what I mean, right? I feel like they are going to lump all those all together. Oh, it's all Marvel, it's all superhero. So there is definitely a fatigue in that sense. You know what I mean? Yes, Guardians was great, but I think that at this point, there are just too many superhero movies and a lot of them are poor quality. Look at DC and it's sort of colored the whole genre as a whole. It's kind of like, let's draw wrestling parallels, right? A shitty match is going to throw shit on all the promotions, no matter what.
I think a lot of people still to this day hated the ending of WrestleMania 39. Cody Rhodes not winning the title, and they completely forget that it was a good match. Best example from AEW, the freaking exploding barbed wire match. A lot of people forgot that the match leading up to the ending was really good, in my opinion, at least. But because of the ending, people completely forgot about the match, which is a shame.
And then, of course, what is the thing that gets TikTok, put on social media out of context? Of course, it's the shitty ending. Then everyone's like, I see this wrestling fake. You know what I mean? That's why, I mean, to sort of draw that wrestling connection, right? It's a lot about the visuals of it. It's a lot about what other people are doing as well.
Yeah, and just to kind of end off my little dialogue here that we're having, right? So between the Marvels, and I enjoyed it for what it was, right? I enjoyed the chemistry with the cast. Kamala Khan was the best thing in the movie.
Yes.
The post credit scene.
We shall not. We shall not spoil. There were two very awesome setups at the end. This is one of the big problems that Marvel has had in this new Phase 4 and 5. A lot of the setups have not paid off. Do you remember? Let's take you back to the first Iron Man when okay, this one not spoiler. This one like how many years? 10 plus years ago already. Nick Fury shows up. You think you're the only blah 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 blah, right? That all led up to the Avengers, correct?
Yes.
There was payoff. So far, Shang-Chi, no payoff. Eros showing up in the Eternals, no payoff. Clea showing up at the end of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, no payoff. Everything got no payoff. Moon Knight, don't know where, sleeping. I hopefully now that they are taking, and I don't know if you know this, but next year there's only going to be one Marvel movie, Deadpool 3.
Yes, I heard.
Yeah,
I heard Deadpool 3,
with this much time in between, they can sort it out. Now they can start, pulling their storylines together. And the previous CEO that was like, more quantity, he has stepped down, and the old CEO Bob Iger came back. And
who's the new CEO that left? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name also, but he was the guy that was this one. More quantity. So now with Bob Iger back, he's like, all right, make these things a big deal, a must-see event, as opposed to just pumping up more shit, right? Now, you like him or not, because there's a lot of controversy with this Bob Iger guy in terms of how he's paying his writers and actors. That's a different story altogether. But at least, he's freaking... he's tightening the ship of Marvel, as it were, to make these properties mean something again.
Yeah, he understood the formula, I would say. So quick question on that, right?
Yeah.
So
Bro,
again,
you send me down this Marvel path, we will talk for 1 hour.
No,
This
no,
can be
I'm,
another
I'm
podcast.
trying to wrap it up because I want to start talking about GrappleMax. No, so the point I was trying to make, as much as I enjoyed the Marvels, my favorite movie that I watched this weekend was actually Hunger Games, bro.
Okay, I heard that it was really good. Like, I've heard reviews that it was really good. I haven't watched it. I'm not a fan of the Hunger Games franchise, so I probably won't watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us why it's better.
It's amazing because, right, we are so far removed from the original trilogy, it's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
That there has been time to breathe. There's been time to miss or forget about Hunger Games. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But secondly, right, this movie was a movie within itself. That means I didn't need to know anything about Katniss or Jennifer Lawrence. It was his own movie, but it set up lore.
Yeah.
It made me interested to want to go back and revisit and rewatch those shows and then have the threads kind of connect together. So I think if you link it back to Marvel, imagine, like you said, once a year, having one movie or every one Marvel show a year, and then creating that ability to miss Marvel for a bit. And then having the threads connect back, because like when you forget, right, you move on, and then suddenly you recall back all the nostalgia.
Yeah,
that actually makes it much more powerful. So
Well, there you go. Look,
so watch,
at the end of
watch Hunger Games, guys.
But also watch the Marvels. I legit feel bad because this is Iman Vellani's big starring role, and she doesn't deserve, like this tag of the worst Marvel movie opening, right? Like, they actually, like, there were tender moments. It was really awesome. The whole family from Ms. Marvel was involved, and they weren't just there for comic relief. They were there for comic relief for sure, but there was also this sense of family, of tenderness that it made me emotional in a few moments.
There were good things about the movie. For sure. I tell you, the actresses are not the worst part. Even to me, Brie Larson was actually much more likable in this movie than anything she's ever done.
You know why, right?
Why?
That was the big criticism of Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, originally. She was way too OP. She just comes in and saves the day. Oh, look at me. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of people online, I think that maybe I feel like this is the loud majority, right? The loud majority of people complaining that this movie was too woke because it was 3 female leads. Today, I roll my eyes and say, get a life, lah. You know what I mean? If you're really thinking that, then maybe you need to adjust your, point of view. I will agree that sometimes when they try to do the girl power moments, it's a bit in your face. It's like, they're obviously trying to do a moment. Like, remember Endgame and Infinity War? There were those moments.
Yeah, I agree. No, but those moments, right, will cater to the women who are watching, sure. But I think, like, they need to still cater to a wide audience. So they need to make it cool for the guys in any scenario as well. I'm not saying that like even Barbie, right? I thought what made it work was because they also examined toxic masculinity and they had the Ryan Gosling character. So the guys could somehow relate or at least kind of have a ponder about it as well.
Here's the thing. I feel like we, as very average, normal, reasonable people, will enjoy it. It's just those people who, I don't want to say lah, but those people who think too much. Those people will be like, I don't like it because it's 3 women. Like, hey, relax lah. It's a story about these 3. And if you actually watch, they probably never even watched the movie. If you actually watch the movie, you'll realize this is about friendships, about bonds. It's about trauma, blah, 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 blah. Like, go and watch it. It's a good movie. And then go and watch Hunger Games.
Yes. After that, if you have time, go listen to our review of GrappleMax.
Oh yes, which is what we'll do right now. Here we go.
Let's go.
Let's jump into the GrappleMax verse. Okay. It happened on Saturday. Obviously, GrappleMax 7th anniversary. Big shout out to everyone there. It was my first time there at a quote unquote like the taping, an actual event, because the past few times I was away, I couldn't make it down. Right. So for me, I was like, oh wow, this vibe is awesome. Sort of this small space, but the energy was there. And we were sitting right next to the fog machine, so that was always a lot of fun.
We were breathing a lot of fumes that whole night, right?
But it's all good. So okay, shall we run down the card match by match?
Yeah, for sure. I can share with you quickly like my thoughts also about like the atmosphere and all that. I mean, again, GrappleMax's 7th anniversary. They've gone through so much, in their history. Now they have their own space. For those who were there, if you are living in Singapore and you want to catch wrestling in its most authentic form, there are a lot of great promotions. And we'll talk about other promotions as well in time. But GrappleMax really feels very Singaporean in its flavor. Don't you think so, Mr.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Okay, let's jump right into it. And this one was an interesting one, right? Because we were like, okay, we don't know much about Joker and Ayongo, the wrestlers from New Taiwan Pro Wrestling.
Yes, correct. They of course had a couple of foreign wrestlers joining the show. The biggest, of course, is Dick Togo, but the New Taiwan did this promotion. It really reminds me of, remember when AEW first started and then they brought OWE.
Oh yeah,
China promotion.
Yeah.
I kind of got that vibe, this Joko Ayongo, they felt like veterans, but we just don't know anything about their history, which made it compelling.
Oh, absolutely. So, okay, obviously they went up against Aussie. So, the Aussie boys, they are the faces, right? And they were playing up the whole story of, who is it? Is it Sean? Yeah, Sean, He feels like the one who's letting down the team while YC is, doing all the work. So that was the story going in, right? So you we're trying to get that quote-unquote baby face, sayang puting sort of a vibe.
Yeah. And shout out as well to Remus. I think he did a lot of the video packages, or he crafted or shot most of it. And I think it's perfect for somebody who has never attended a GrappleMax show. Before every single match, they actually played the promo on the screen, so people kind of understood what's the story about. So that's why you straight away had that sympathy for Sean and YC. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that was a really, really nice touch. And we've talked about it so much, right? Like just the value of a promo package to set the stage. Just tell a little bit of a story before, they actually get into it. So you got this weird situation though. Joker and Ayongo, they're the heels at first, right? They establish themselves. They're doing the typical heel stuff, don't want to shake hand, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But at some point, Joker turns on Ayongo. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. It's I don't know, but this is probably their own storyline continuity on in their promotion. Yeah. But they had some dissension, which kind of allowed Aussie to take advantage, right?
Yeah. I will say that Aussie are a great team to start this event because they, whatever it is, despite all the things I say about, they're not real Australian, why they still Aussie? Despite all, that's my one hang up, bro. I cannot get over it, bro.
Oh dear God.
You know what they need to do? They need to have an Australian cookout, put some shrimp on the barbie and invite me. Then maybe I will buy them as Australian. But that little hang up aside, there's just a me thing, it's a Mr. Young thing, right? That aside, I think they are a very infectious duo. They can get the energy up, and I thought it was a great way to start the show.
Yeah, and I also like the story they're trying to tell, that Sean is trying to prove that he's not the weak link in the team, because I think YC already has a very strong connection, and it's almost as if Sean is trying to kind of keep up and prove himself as well at the same time. Yeah. We shared some footage across as well on our Instagram. Sean was showing a lot of fire. And I think that brought the energy up. And again, Joker and Ayongo was kind of having their own little mini
feud,
tussle or feud or conflict, right? And I think that allowed our local victors, to get the win.
But are they really local if they're called Aussie?
Come on, bro. They're Singaporeans who studied in Australia,
See, there's a disconnect right there. I cannot with that. All right.
Okay, you know how to make this powerful. If Aussie actually face up against a legit Australian team like a Mike Bailey or somebody come to GrappleMax and challenge their Aussie-ness
for the title of Aussie.
yeah. And then if they finally beat these Aussie people, and then the Aussie people welcome them, hey guys, they are one of us. Then we can get the payoff.
Okay, there you go. That needs to happen. GrappleMax, make it happen. Aussie beats an Aussie team for the Australian-ness title of Australia.
Yeah. Perfect. I suggest it's Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews.
Okay, come, let's do it. GrappleMax, make it happen. So yes, Aussie win with the, it was like an AA into a power bomb. Is a cool tag team finisher. So there you go.
What is it called, guys? Let us know so we can start calling it and popularizing it.
Is it called the Oi or the Aussie?
Sure. Or the Down Under.
Land from
Don't make
down
me
under.
I thought you were gonna spit out your drink, Mr. Young.
Oh God, cannot. I might have very expensive keyboards and equipment. I don't want to damage any of that stuff. All right, let's move on. We got Prabhu versus Remus versus Sky. Actually, we have some clips from the event that we want to show you right now.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at Prabhu. Looking good. Nice big slap to the chest right there. Lots of meat. Meat slapping.
There you go. Look at.
I love it.
I mean, Prabhu. What can we say about Prabhu? We've always talked about how he with every show, Mr. Young, he's getting more jacked.
Right?
More chiseled.
That's the first thing I said when he came out. I said, hey, bro, this guy been hitting the gym. What's going on, man? Like, I remember him from the first time he was in. Remember when we used to record this in the Power 98 studios? Like,
Yes.
yeah, that's a different guy.
Yeah. He basically underwent a Gunther transformation.
Yeah,
say,
he
right?
did.
Yeah. But I think I love it. I think he has kind of leveled up his gear. He's wearing the leather jacket, giving me that diesel vibes. The crowd was hot for him, and I'm so happy to see that growth, right? From a new guy. And then he just reminded me as well. We were talking after the show. He said, like, hey, remember when we both of us started training together? I recall in late 2018. That was like his first few times in GrappleMax, and he was also like a legit grade 1 training with me, and to see where he is now, I mean, almost 5 years later, it's amazing as well. So shout out to you.
Very quickly, I want to shout out to Big Dave, who's in our comment section right now. He says, Down Bad, Down Under is the name of that finisher. Down Bad, Down Under. Why is it Down Bad, Down Under?
I mean, I probably got people down bad, from the move, taking the move.
There must be some story there, but okay, we'll have to dig into that a little bit further some other time. But what's up, Big Dave? Please don't hurt me. We both had our run-ins with Big Dave, interestingly enough, huh?
Yeah, so he's an equal opportunity
roaster.
Shit stirrer.
We'll get to that in just a bit. We'll show you the interview that I did with Big Dave after his match. Hot Shot. But okay, what are your thoughts on this match? Prabhu, Sky, and Remus.
Yeah, so very interestingly, because I have the context of watching Amplify, the previous show.
Yeah.
And during that match, of course, you had Remus who was challenging for the title, right? And Remus put out a great, show stealing, like, match of the night worthy performance. But he still fell short, and of course that led to the Dave heel turn. So I felt like Remus kind of had to kind of slide back down the card, and was in this contest. I felt like it's almost as if like right now the spotlight is on other people, and it's such a shame because I love Remus, and I still feel that he deserves. He's like the Sami Zayn in this situation. Do you think
Right. Tovakin. Former. Okay, we didn't here's the thing, we didn't know too much about Sky. I mean, we interviewed Dave last week, right? And he did mention that Sky was a bit of a quote-unquote a comedy wrestler a little bit, and you can tell he wasn't doing full-on comedy shtick here, but you can tell a lot of what he does comes from that let's make people laugh school of wrestling, right? So, he's a big, meaty guy. He might be the widest guy in this, not whitest, but widest, like wide, width, right? He's the widest guy in this entire matchup here. So you had him like hiding in the corner, like, chochoing, hey, your fight, and then he like, hides in one corner. So he's got that vibe going for him.
Yeah, I remember him and Prabhu were like exchanging pack jiggles.
Yes.
To like showcase their bond. So they kind of teamed up, double team against Remus. It was hilarious. And now I understand. Before the match, I didn't understand why he was called the King of Schoolboys.
Okay.
But after watching the match, I have a very, very clear understanding why he's a king of schoolboys.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's a triple threat. Triple threat equals no disqualification. So you had this weird situation of, Julian interferes, right?
Yes.
Julian, because the Inglorious and Showtime Inc., they're sort of like in a feud sort of a situation. And then you had Sky with the groin slam. I don't even know what you call it. So he grabs, who did he grab by the groin? Was it Prabhu? I forgot it was Prabhu or Remus. But he grabbed somebody by the groin. It's like a choke slam, but it's grabbed by the groin instead of, you can picture this, right?
And I don't want to picture it, but yes, please. Let's power through what you're trying to say, yes.
Oh my God. So, it was a comedy moment. I don't hate comedy wrestling, but it's like, okay. The one thing I was wondering the whole time during this match, right? when is Prabhu going to turn face? I mean, do you hear the cheers he's getting?
Of course.
Do you see the babyface smile on his face when he wrestles?
He can't help. He's like the Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso. He's gonna break character.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, when is this guy gonna switch? I feel like he has so much potential when he switches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's great. I also found that the thing about Prabhu, right? Prabhu got this very easygoing kind of vibe, and like as much as he does all these bad things, people are gonna start cheering for him.
Yeah.
He's got almost I don't know who can I compare him to that cheekiness
I think Jimmy Uso is a very good comparison because Jimmy Uso is like he does bad things, but he's also like quite goofy, quite likable.
Yeah. I think I'm getting that vibe from him, and so it's very funny because Remus, of course, still always tries to play it straight as a character. So having that kind of character and having like someone like Sky who's like planting kisses to unsuspecting wrestlers, and having Prabhu just being there, it was a fun, entertaining match on the card. For sure. What's your thoughts on the result though?
I mean, I didn't think that they were going to take the the new Taiwan Championship away from Sky, so it made sense, right? Yeah, we have a little bit of a schmoz finish, interference, groin slam, boom, boom, boom. So I wasn't surprised.
Just to be clear, Sky as well is their world champion, like their main champion there in Taiwan. So this was a very prestigious title. I enjoyed that because of where it was placed on the card, they allowed themselves to have a bit more fun. It felt like a house show, literally a house show match.
Yes, there you go. Okay, let's move on. Ships Ahoy! I love that they have adopted that name that you kind of help them, push them into adopting. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take any credit for anyone, but, Ships Ahoy, very good name. I approve.
Yes, Ships Ahoy versus Ban and TJ. Let's check out some clips from this match right here. So we got TJ.
This is the ending, I believe.
Yes, there you go. I love that spear, by the way. Looks good. There you go.
Awesome,
big cheers.
Awesome.
Look at the crowd just pop for that, huh? My first thing was it's two face teams. Right? So immediately I was like, how is this going to play out?
Yep. Well, of course, there is a story, and of course, Dave has already prefaced it by saying that TJ was like the main star for the women's. She took a long break, and in that time, that void was filled up by Sarah, and Sarah has her own so-called. She grew her own audience. People started connecting with her, so it's almost as if and they told the story on the Titantron per se that TJ is coming back to kind of claim her crown in that way, right?
Doverkin says she took that spear better than Mr. Young. I can't argue that point. But bro,
the shit stirring of Mr. Young will never end.
What I took wasn't a spear, bro. It was a Psycho Crusher. M. Bison Psycho Crusher. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. It was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys did this on purpose. Let us know, right? But there was like a bit of color coordination. So Christian and Sarah were the blue team. TJ and Ban were the red team. Like, was this on purpose or what? Because I noticed your gear, like both of you blue, both red. Like, it's like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, the one thing I will say here is there were a few moments of double teaming, right? And the referee was just kind of standing in the corner doing nothing. So I was a bit like, okay, maybe ref needs to get in there, be more active to quote unquote enforce the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I like the so-called the sneakiness of each team, because yes, even though both of them were baby faces, I could tell like someone like Christian was like kind of helping to get the advantage. There was times where the match devolved into almost like a schmoz. People were just like not even tagging in chaos. I don't know whether that was on purpose or that was just we were having some issues with the referee. Was this the trainee referee?
I'm not sure.
Sufyan?
It's a new guy. It wasn't Sufyan. It was a new guy. I've never seen him before. But to be fair as well, I don't know if this was his first event. Was it? Like, was he at the last one? Because I wasn't at the last one.
I'm not sure. You know what was my favorite chant from that night?
What?
VAR.
VAR. Yeah, so I mean, it takes a while to pick up these things. And I get it, right? At the end of the day, this is a place to learn as well. But yeah, it took me out of it a little bit. It's like, okay, why is there nobody enforcing the rules? The whole idea of enforcing the rules is so that when the heels break the rules, then it means something. You know? If
Yep.
there's no rules, AEW, if there are no rules, then when the heels do dastardly things, it means nothing. Oh, the referee not going to care anyway, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I get it.
let's draw a workplace parallel here.
Yeah, sure.
If your boss doesn't scold you or scold other people for doing bad thing, then everybody do bad thing. Nothing is bad anymore. Oh,
Exactly.
it's allowed, what? It's okay, one, what? You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. You know what's the best thing? I think that you can play along if you are able to so-called distract the referee, successfully and made it part of the story. Like, okay, the whole time I got one guy who's always like stirring shit behind the referee's back, and referee doesn't catch it, and that's part of it is fine. But I think in this scenario, we really could tell that there was some. The referee was having a trouble trying to keep everything under control, like legitimately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you an example, right? And we talk about referee Sufyan, who's a veteran already at this point. So there were moments where you had heels like grabbing onto him, distracting him. So that's the classic, ref distraction, right? I think in this match, the referee was just literally standing in the corner watching everybody fight in the ring.
Yeah.
So
No, but
I see. Here's the thing. We say this as constructive criticism. It's something that can be worked on. So we're definitely being patient. Absolutely. Dude's new. Gotta give it to him. He did well for his first event.
Yeah, I mean, as I remember my time doing in wrestling, right?
Yeah,
doing that one match. There are moments when if your brain freeze, right, you will literally don't know what to do. You just stand there.
Bro, my spear is the perfect example. It's exactly how I'm supposed to fall backward. No, I fall forward. Idiot like that. So I get it. But, it was something that immediately took me out of the situation. Like, oh, okay, there's nobody to enforce the rules.
Yeah. One other thing I saw, I mean, this is more of like feedback, right, for the wrestlers. I felt like they could have laid their shots in better. I felt like they were I mean, of course, we all know, everyone's friends with everyone, right? I'm not expecting you all to like potato each other, but I just felt like in certain moments, like whether it was in the corner, where they were trading strikes, I felt like they were touching each other. When I say touching each other, not touching each other, they were like, you know what I mean? And I think this also comes with experience. I think this comes with once you get the reps in, you are sure of them. So there is a way to, as Lady Killer did so perfectly on me, beat me up and make me feel it, but not hurt me. You get what I mean?
No, I get what you mean 100%. I know what you're saying. In fact, the next match we're going to talk about is going to be a perfect example for it. But before we get there, I liked what they did with the intergender action. They kept it to a minimal so that when it happened, then when Ban, I can't remember if it was Ban hitting Sarah with a move or if it was Christian hitting TJ with a move. I forget already.
I believe Sarah did a suplex on Ban, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, so that would be the pop. But when a guy would do it to a girl, that would be like, how dare you, sort of a moment. So we take away the fact that it's face versus face. These moments gave us pause to react. And I appreciated that. Like, how can, boo, that sort of a moment. Not necessarily because one is a face, one is a heel, but it's like, and then you see their reaction after they do the move. They're like, oh shit, hey, that guy already.
Correct. I mean, I think Ban did a great job showcasing that so-called guilt. He's a perfect babyface. I think we've talked about it as well. But can we talk about what you told me on the day itself when we were talking about Christian?
What did? Oh, right.
Yes.
I was like, I was seeing him do his thing, as usual, great wrestling, right? I was like, I think this guy could be a heel. I think this guy could be like a Prince Pretty, what's his name? Tyler Breeze.
You said he could be like a beachy diva, like Trish Stratus kind of vibe as well, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I definitely think he could pull that off. Like, I know he's a super nice guy, obviously, right? But you turn that 180, you just... I don't know, maybe now it's like he's just started this new tag team. He's, they're still building the face, but I think there's the possibility there. And then Div Royalty brings up, is Ban a baby face though? Question mark, because of the next match, right? Okay, we'll get to that in just a bit. But what do you think of that thought experiment?
I love it. But let them cook. Give them 9 months to get these ships ahoy over, because I really love the team.
Yeah.
again, the only issue is because it's an intergender team. How many combinations of intergender matches can they have right now? You know, they need more.
Exactly right.
They need more women
Yeah.
in the
Roster.
in the promotion.
Yeah,
I mean,
it can't be TJ and some new partner every single event, you know?
I mean, GrappleMax can easily recruit Ray Black like if they wanted, right? You know what I mean?
Oh my god, you nearly made me spit. I didn't think we were going to go there, but I guess we went there. So
My goal is to make Mr. Young spit every single
bro,
time.
stop it, man. This is almost twice you made me spit my Tesi Siu Tai on my keyboard, my expensive keyboard, okay? Look, so okay, the reason Foreign said that was, and let's not make it a big deal, but I think it is a big deal in that global celebrity is a fan of wrestling, so much so that she actually travels from country to country to watch wrestling, right? I think that's really cool. And she just very quietly bought a ticket to this GrappleMax event and showed up there. And I was like, oh wow, that is actually really, really cool. Can you imagine if like a Robert Downey Jr. suddenly shows up at a local wrestling event? Like, that's a big deal, right?
I mean, less Robert Downey Jr., more Robert Down Bad Jr. boy.
Stop
I mean,
it, bro. Stop. Hey, she's a legitimate actress and a content creator, okay? So,
Okay, so-
Ray Lil Black, if you don't know, is an adult star. All right? Like, we're all adults here, right?
Hey, wait.
What?
Can I cover my ass first in case my girlfriend is watching this podcast? I had no idea who she was. Mr. Young, you're the one that pointed it out to me.
Okay, so let me set the context too. Because when I looked, like I was like, obviously when I showed up, I just scanned the crowd. Let's see if I know anybody there, right? Then look at this lady. It's like, she looks quite familiar, but I couldn't really place her, right? And then I remember this conversation I had with one of my colleagues who is a huge, let's just say,
Purveyor of
porn. He's a huge fan of porn. And then I remember that a few days ago, he came to me. Oh God, he approached me and he was like, hey, Ray Lil Black is in Singapore. Oh my God. And he's like, I'm like, okay, calm down. I know you're very excited, but that means nothing. All right. She's just in town to do what she's in town to do. Don't make this creepy, right? So I'm like, wait a minute, is that her? Then I immediately pulled out the Instagram. I was like, oh my God, that's her, because you can't miss the tattoo. She has a very distinct left arm tattoo, right? Edison, you know only.
Edison.
You know.
Paitao.
Hey, don't anyhow lah. So
That one
I
married
was like,
man with kids, please. Shush. Okay, anyway.
bro, he went to the AVN, the Adult Video Convention in Vegas with his wife. Okay? It's not a
That's,
secret, it's not a shame for him.
That is a very healthy relationship, I suppose.
Is it? Okay, anyway, so the point is, she's a huge fan of wrestling. She literally traveled to Singapore. I'm sure she has other things to do in Singapore, but she bought a ticket to go catch a GrappleMax event. I think that's awesome, and I think we should get her on the podcast. To find out about her, what you laugh.
Okay.
What's wrong with you, bro? Why?
Oh, so the whole nice powdering up is just to say I want to get her on the podcast. Okay,
There's nothing to powder, what? Hey, just
okay.
just because you don't know what she does.
Okay. To be fair, I thought it was really cool, that we had a celebrity in our midst. Whichever field she's from, she has a huge following, huge fan base, 1.8 million. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, hey, you told me her IG story, she was like talking about how she was training at Evolve, right? And I was like, hey, why she never post anything about GrappleMax? Share to her 1.8 million followers. And then you know what you said, right? You remember what you said?
Well, oh yeah,
You
no,
saying,
I was like, excuse me, someone like her with her following, every story, every post is paid. A girl gotta make her money. Come on, man. She ain't gonna post something. I think she did mention on X though, on the website formerly known as Twitter, that she was there. So there was a bit of buzz there too. I think that was what sort of tipped people off that, hey, she was gonna be at the event.
Yeah. I mean that's awesome. And also, shout out to Lavin, our one of our Patreons as well. You can see on the byline below. He actually got a photo with her.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. Apparently, so he told me this very funny story. She, of course, during the intermission, she stepped out for a bit, And then that was the time I think they asked her for a photo. They said they actually very nicely approached her and say like, hey, can we take a photo with you after the show? And then she told him, it's like, oh, if you want, you can take now because I have to leave a bit earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why she didn't stay, for like the main event. I'm so sorry, people who were in the main event, she didn't stay for that. But she was really cool and she was just hanging around, outside with the rest of us. So hey, everyone's a wrestling fan,
I think it's amazing that she was there by herself. Like, you'd think someone of her level would have an entourage. And I was like very surprised. So like, wow, okay. Like, did she take a Grab there to some random industrial park?
I mean, I had no idea, man. I mean, Edison, I don't think she wants to do a video with me. But I'll be very happy to do a video with her, a very PG music-related video with her.
Bro, come. I mean,
what?
We should do a video together with her. A podcast, bro. The three of us.
Okay, can.
Triple threat, a three-way, some might say.
Okay, I mean, I've done my due diligence. I've used my Kick to the Gut profile to follow her on Instagram now. So any future updates, we will update each other on this. Okay.
Come on, we're all adults here. Let's be, let's be chill, man. All right.
Let's carry on. Let's carry on with the.
To be fair, if this was Robert Downey Jr., I also would be giddy. So, anyway.
Yeah. I mean that will make me giddy, lah.
Fame is fame, okay? Fame is fame regardless of field. Let's move on. Talking about famous, not sus at all, again. Dick Togo versus Jordan.
Yeah, here we go.
So this is what really, really stood out. The second he was in there and he did his thing, right? You can tell why he's a head advisor. Everything felt snug. Every punch felt like it meant something. And this is immediately when it happened, I turned over to Foreign and I said this. Even his covers look like they mean something. Looks like he's trying to win a match versus it looks like, oh, I have to cover because this is the time to cover. You know what I mean? When he grabs Jordan to pin him, he looks like he's grabbing Jordan to pin him and trying to win the match. And I think this is something everybody can pay attention to and really try to emulate. Like, apart from spots where like, oh, you're knocked out and you just fall on the guy. I understand that. But when you go for the pin like you mean it. Punch like you mean it. Everything, do it like you mean it. Like you are trying to actually win. Isn't that the very essence of pro wrestling? This is a fight, a competition, and I want to win, right? Yeah. So watching him, like, he was like, so, like, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is what pro wrestling is.
Yeah, and it's funny because, of course, I haven't followed him since his first appearance in New Japan, partnering up with Evil. When he came out, he had some like 90s hip hop music. He got the freaking Parisian hat on him as well. It was a very new look. So I was like, okay, is he like being comedic or something? But no. When he took it off, his amazing chiseled physique, everyone was like oohing and ahhing. And I'm not talking about Jordan. I'm talking about everyone was oohing and ahhing, Dick Togo.
Of course.
And I love the story that was being told because, in the pre-match hype video, Jordan was saying, he's this old man. I'm going to take him out. I'm going to prove to you that, I am the Cruiserweight Champion. I'm not afraid of this legend, blah, blah, blah. Very, very interestingly, at the end of the video, our dear friend Ban from the previous match appeared at the end of the video and said, regardless of who wins, I'm going to challenge for the title.
Okay, I want to bring up a very funny moment in this because do you remember last episode where we interviewed Big Dave?
Yeah.
I actually went there early and I was sitting in the corner watching them film that very video package.
Yeah.
Right? And
okay, tell us, walk it through us, Mr. Yang.
So this is one of those things like the behind the scenes things you don't really see, right? So literally the thing was Jordan was doing his spiel, piece to camera, and then Ban comes up, oh, you have a very big task ahead of you, right? That was the line. So whenever you're supposed to film lines like this, sometimes you mind blank, forget, whatever. So I was there when it happened, right? Jordan's like doing his thing. Blah, 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 I'm going to kick your ass, take you outside and shoot you, blah, 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 right? And then Ban interrupts. Jordan, you have a really big... And then he paused because he was trying to pause at the time. He forgot the line, whatever it was, right? I get it. And then Big Dave from the back was like, Dick!
Oh dear God. Okay.
That was a
okay.
moment. That was a moment.
There we go. Oh, I mean,
You had to be
I-
there. You had to be there.
There needs to be a video upload. Najwan, if you're still in the chat, please upload that video.
Nashwan,
That's
Remus,
all-
whoever's in charge, please put that up. That moment was too good to pass up.
Yeah.
You
that
have
was
a big. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the actual match itself, okay? And we'll get to the whole Ban situation in just a bit because he does play a role in the finale or in the finish rather. So it was this case of a lot of Jordan strikes not working on the big veteran. You know what I mean? Like he's chopping him, then Togo's like, "What the f?" And then he just one shot and he smashes Jordan. It was a very, I don't want to say simple because simple implies it's not good, but it was good. You know, there's a beauty to the simplicity, the brutality of a punch, a chop.
Yeah, it was a great story being told. I think, you know, how Dick kind of like brought him around the ring, tried to teach him a lesson, laying in those chops. And then, you know, there's little flurries where Jordan kind of like got the offense back. Even there was almost like arrogance in his defiance somehow. Do you remember we actually spoke with him right after, like at the end of the show? He was talking about how everything was called in the ring.
Yes.
They weren't prepared. And remember that one moment where both of them went for the arm drag?
Yes. That was an interesting spot because I remember when it happened, I turned to you and I was like, that wasn't supposed to happen. You thought they planned it, but I was like, no, I think they, and they made it work. See, the spot was, I don't know who was supposed to arm drag who, but they both no-sold the arm drag. So they just hook arm, bang, sit down. And then they both look at each other like, and it actually created a really cool moment. Like, I have your number. Sort of a moment, you know what I mean? So that's why you thought it was planned, right?
Yeah. No, I thought it was amazing storytelling. And if that was improv call on the fly, shout out to both of them. Because again, like what Jordan said, they kind of felt in the moment and they kind of worked their way from spot to spot based on the flow of the match. And I think the best wrestlers are like that. They call it in the ring. Like, I know there are some wrestlers who are super the other way around, like Randy Savage. Every single spot must have a freaking like layout like that, you know? Yeah, but that was also another example of how if it was anyone else doing that arm drag spot with Jordan, I thought that whole sequence would have just died. You know, it would have just crumbled and failed. But because it was Dick Togo who did it, they managed to make it into a story as well.
Yeah, I feel like everyone should watch this match. Just watch what Dick and Jordan did. There's a lot to be learned. I'm sure they watched tapes of Dick Togo and other wrestlers as well. What am I even saying, right? But I felt like this is what I love about pro wrestling. Like, you know, it looks like the other guy is trying to hurt the other guy without actually hurting that. It's like, this is why I fell in love with like a character like a Bret Hart back in the day or a Kurt Angle. It just looks so good. It looks like a fight, right? And not trying to do 10,000 backflips and triple flips and whatever bullshit.
Yeah. You know, some people say like, oh, you know, if you don't do all these flips, you're lazy. But I would argue, right, that there's a lot of cerebral thinking, strategizing going on to kind of keep it simple as well.
I will counter argue that by saying if you are doing the flips and overdoing the flips, you are being lazy. It's like, oh, I unlock this, so I just spam instead of actually doing the psychology stuff. I'll give you the best example of that man right now, MJF.
Yeah.
You know he can do. You see his indie footage. He can do all these back flips, front flips, planchas, flying burritos, whatever the shit. He can do one. He just doesn't do it. So when he does do it, it means something. Like he's wrestled matches where the whole thing was one body slam was the pop or one kangaroo kick was like, you know, the main. That's why we say he's so special. He knows how to build the moments as opposed to just spam. We've talked about this from the Marvel conversation up to now. Sometimes quantity doesn't mean quality.
Yeah, I would say the best high flyer who has adapted his ability to do high flying moves and become a great storyteller, I would say is Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio is the best example of he was having banger matches in WCW, you know, just showcasing his skill and ability. But when he went to WWE, a lot of his story was about him playing as an underdog and fighting out of it. Very compelling stuff. And I think it's great that there is someone like Rey Mysterio kind of like guiding the next generation of like Lucha Libre wrestlers there, Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, having that mentor to kind of saying that, hey guys, these moves are all great. Okay, come, this is the part where we have to slow down. This is the part where we have to tell stories. Yeah. So I kind of enjoyed that portion of this match. I think this match was easily the best simple match from the night itself. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we had a bunch of huge pops, by the way. The low blow, and there was a point where Jordan actually low blowed Dick Togo, and everyone thought, oh my god, Dick's gonna lose. And then when Dick kicks out, it's like huge, massive pop. One of the biggest pops of the night, by the way.
Yeah.
And this was not a flippy floppy match. It was just good wrestling. But okay, let's take a look at the finish here. There you go, the referee distraction part, right? And then Ban in with the title. Boom! Why? Ban, why?
Ban, bro, why you doing it, bro? Why?
2, 3, that's the finish right there. Jordan picks up the win.
The biggest boost chorus, bro. This was one of the only results where
Look at Jordan's face. Hang on, look at Jordan's face.
No, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Is that referee Ryan?
Yeah, it was referee Ryan right there.
Like
look at this cameraman, bro. What's going on here, Foreign?
Look at the wing. Did he wing? Oh no, that wasn't him. No, but the thing I love about this moment right here, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, let him have his moment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Like the crowd was so pissed off with this result.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Do you get it? Like the crowd was unhappy that Dick Togo lost for sure. Right? But the crowd also acknowledged that was a great finish. That was a shocking moment. Jordan retained against a legend, right? And kept the Cruiserweight Championship within the company.
So yeah, you give the rub to Jordan, and I think the question this whole match was, how do you have Dick Togo lose? There was no thought in my mind that Dick Togo was going to win the Wrestle Square Cruiserweight Championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know whether he would bring it to New Japan, can he even do that?
Yeah, right? So it didn't make any sense for him to win the title. And storyline-wise, what Ban's motivation can be, and I'm sure we'll find out more in the weeks leading up to the next Amplify event in December, is that, well, he didn't want the title to be on Dick Togo. It's harder to fight Dick Togo than it is to fight Jordan, am I right? So that kind of logically makes sense.
Yeah, there was a great story there. Not only it achieves two things, it keeps the title within the company. It gives a reason for Ban to want to attack Dick Togo and let Jordan win. And Jordan wins dirty, yes, but he got the victory without, I think, killing Dick Togo's reputation or aura or whatever it is.
Because it was a cheating win. There was interference. The question is though, it does make Ban okay, he's a bad guy now. It does throw a bit of confusion in there. I get the reason, but also it makes him a bit heelish. You know what I mean? And then you have Jordan, who's a straight up heel now with his FU face, right? So it's
is it heel versus heel? Is it
Or is it is Ban the face that will do anything to keep the title? But that makes him a bit of a heel, doesn't it?
Of a tweener, a bit of a Drew McIntyre, right? So if this was Raw, there was a post GrappleMax Raw show right now, we would have Ban kind of explain his actions right now in a promo, right?
Yeah, maybe we should have grabbed him to do an interview.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think enough. I think one person bully you enough, I think you're very stressed.
That's true. But I really enjoyed this match. It's one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah, but very interestingly, the placement of this match was right before the intermission. So actually, the crowd could sit with the result and kind of let it,
stew, let it marinate. No, I was not surprised at all, actually. Usually, the match before the intermission is sort of like the co-main event. It feels like, and I mean, you got Dick Togo. He's got to be there at the if he's not the main event, then he's at this spot. So it makes perfect sense, this match placement.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dick Togo, the use of Dick Togo for this show. Again, Dave already explained why give the rub to an established star, why not create another star?
Exactly.
And instead of having one big main event with Dick Togo there, they have two main events in a way, right?
And from what I heard too, Raylo Black is a huge fan of Dick Togo.
Yeah, she is, I'm sure.
That's why she came to the show, because she's
okay, Mr. Yao.
She heard that Togo-san was going to be here, so that's why she came.
Yeah, she loves Dick. She loves to come to Singapore to watch wrestling. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what I said. All right, let's move on then. Post intermission, we kick things off with N-Boss versus Showtime. All right, there you go. So okay. So with Showtime, you know what? Showtime's music, we all know lah. Showtime's music is done by our very own foreign in the building right here, right? So you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk
I know
about
what
it.
you're gonna be talking about. Yeah.
So I wanted to film foreign and Showtime coming out of the curtain, right? Because it's like, hey bro, it's your music. You know, I want to get that sort of a vibe. The problem is, I was filming foreign because, okay, like I said, we were sitting right at the entrance area where they come out from the curtain, right? So it's like filming foreign, and then the music is playing Showtime, Showtime, Showtime. I was like filming. Then foreign looked at me, it's like, bro, film Showtime ah. Then I'm like, oh shit, Showtime came from the other side.
He came from the hill entrance, bro.
I didn't realize he came from the main entrance. I thought he was gonna pop out of the curtains. So I was gonna be like, oh, I catch him, then I catch you. You know, but he was already like near the ring. By the time Foreign was like, hey bro, film. I'm sure at that point, Foreign was like, hey, this missing out a bit bodo. Like, why he keep filming me, never film Showtime? Because
somewhere in your phone, right, there's a sus video of you filming for like a good 30 seconds to 1 minute. It's just
right?
just zooming on my face.
Yeah, I'm just lingering on foreign the whole time. All right, come. I'm just waiting for this Showtime to pop out. I want to get the artistic shot, you know? And then I was like, oh my god, that's so freaking embarrassing.
Oh dear God. It's okay, it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
But okay, here we go. It's your boy Showtime together with N-Boss. N-Boss jumped Showtime to start the show.
I love that. I mean, I hate that because you didn't get to play my song fully, but I love that because it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
I think it kind of emphasizes the seriousness of the match. That this was a great grudge match, and they promoted it as such. It is a grudge match. As well, can we talk about that promo before the match as well?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't know what Greg said. I can't recall right now off the top of my head. But he was so cold. He was so calculating. He just said it without emotion. He was saying like, "Why you got to show for the 5 years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, prove to me that you can." Like he cut one of the best promos of the night in terms of the. Please, I hope like it's on social media somehow. I don't know about this recent run from Greg because Greg kind of like took a step back. Didn't want to like be part of the match card. But his recent matches that he's been having. Bro, he's like having like a HBK second run, you know what I mean?
Sure.
All around great stuff.
So okay, the match itself, I mean, no need to say lah. Oh, what was that point where he got like massive scratches on his back? You'll see in the video in just a bit, but there was a point where he received a bunch of scratches on his upper shoulder, left shoulder. Yeah. Like I can't remember for the life of me how he got that.
I think don't know whether Showtime put some iron claw on him or something like that, man.
Hey,
like,
Showtime
really looked like
Showtime never clipped nails. Is it? What's going on?
I have no idea, bro. But yeah, it looked gnarly. I can't recall whether that was from apron spot or like getting hit in the turnbuckle. I have no idea, but people were like, "Holy shit! What the hell is that? He cannot step or what?"
So when N-Boss jump started the match, there was a huge face pop. The context of which is Showtime did a post-match beatdown in the last event, right? He jumped N-Boss, so this is the payback lah. N-Boss jumps Showtime to start the match. Prabhu and Julian interfere in this one. So I guess my question is, where were the rest of Inglorious? Like, okay, like finally you had Remus come out to sort of like help out, right? But like, what happened to Hotshot? Too busy preparing for his
warming
match,
up lah, warming up.
Okay, warming up. Okay, we'll give him that. So because of the interference, Showtime wins, and let's play you the sort of the post-match shenanigans here, okay? Which I thought was very interesting.
There you go.
So you have the 2 versus 3, and the heels leave even though they have the advantage.
Very interestingly.
There you go, boo.
And then the crowd was all shouting, "War games!"
War games!
Yeah. You actually, right, I thought this was going to be a culmination of a grudge match rivalry, right? But then, right, what this result told me was it's actually the first salvo in a potential faction war.
Yeah.
Between Showtime and Inglorious. I mean, we've gotten hints of it, you know. We had the leaders have faced each other now. Showtime got the dirty win, as you would have recall. But I think this leads to something bigger, and it's crazy because it's almost as if like, why hasn't Showtime and Inglorious fought each other?
Yeah.
They've been running in parallel all this while. And there's also been a point where, you know, Inglorious have taken a step back because each of the individual wrestlers were pursuing individual goals.
Yep.
But right now, it's like it's the perfect time to bring them all together because I think everyone has been elevated since, you know, they first started the factions.
December War Games. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I know they have like their Amplify show. They have their show in the I think the convention center, right? For like
the anime convention thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they'll do that there, but definitely in December lah. So or maybe into the new year.
End the year strong, guys.
I think so. I think so. So I thought it was very interesting that the heels leave, even though they had a 3 versus 2 advantage. You know, I guess also there was a reason why Sean P. So this is them tying up the loose ends, right?
Yeah.
Sean P. wasn't there because he was in Vegas. The intern got him some sort of a travel thing.
Yeah, I think the intern got in something for him to travel, and then that led to the next match, right? I believe.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was very interesting how they managed to give legitimate reasons for Sean P. not being there to, you know, join this fracas, right? And of course, like we talked about, leading into the next match, which is Julian and Kelvin, the intern, versus Simon and Ryan.
Yeah. Honestly, if I have to be really honest, I didn't like the placement of this match.
Yeah.
I think this match should have come before the Greg and Showtime match because
Really?
Yeah, because I felt like, I know maybe they were trying to have the positioning of the match, like have a big match right out of the intermission, so that, you know, people will get invested. But then unfortunately, the byproduct of that is this match became kind of like a, not say toilet break lah, but more of like a calm down, you know.
Right.
I would say the atmosphere wasn't there for this match lah.
But we'll get into it right now. Julian and Kelvin versus Simon and Ryan. Huh?
Or it could be because right after the Showtime and Greg match ended, Ray Lilbeck left.
She's you know what? She's an honorary Singaporean now. She's doing the Singaporean thing, leaving before the end so she can get a bus out. So there's no human jam out. She's Singaporean lah.
So I'm sorry, Kelvin, the intern. She didn't watch your match lah, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Right. Ray Lilbeck, please come on the show. We have lots to chat about in terms of wrestling.
Okay, yes.
I'm shooting my shot, bro. Let's talk about Ryan and how surely he can do better than the Great One wrestler.
Oh, there you go.
We talk about like how we love all the intro videos and everything. Okay, his Titantron. I mean, I was watching it. I was like, really? It's just him posing, and then
in the white abyss.
In the white abyss is right.
You know who he reminded me of or not? The promo.
Who?
Sean O'Hare. Do you remember the devil whisperer gimmick?
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah. It's just him standing in the abyss, just whispering and like mooding by himself. You know?
Mooding.
Just having a mood, you know.
Having a mood. I hope it's not a thing that sticks. The Great One wrestler.
I mean, they did it last time with John. They had like a nearly Big John. They become Big John.
Sure,
eventually.
but
So I gotta call him the Great 3 wrestler in 5 years' time? I don't know.
What does it even mean? Okay, never mind. I'll reserve
He's
judgment.
figuring himself out.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He's figuring himself out. We shouldn't be so hard. Okay, it was hilarious. So, okay, in the video as well, Julian called Kelvin, the intern, Melvin. So the crowd was chanting Melvin the whole time.
Yeah. Melvin.
So the whole story here was basically Julian leaving Kelvin to fend for himself, right? Like he doesn't trust Kelvin. And so the whole match was actually kind of this story of building the trust between Julian and Kelvin, which, you know, I thought was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed that storytelling bit.
Yeah, I like that there were moments where Julian didn't want to get involved and was happy to let Kelvin get like his ass beaten.
Yeah.
But then there was a point, I remember halfway towards the end, final stretch of the match, Julian was saying like, no, he's my intern.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
defending him eventually.
So it's almost this story of like this journey rather of I don't trust you to he's my guy. Don't beat him up, you know? So I enjoyed that a lot. This though, okay, to me, it served that story, but it also kind of puts the other two guys, Simon and Ryan, on the back burner, right? Because this is not about them anymore, which I felt was like a bit of a shame because, you know, okay, and this I think I mentioned to you as well. I thought that Simon shows like his face. I love his facials. Like everything he does, like he's selling the emotion of the moment. You know, earlier I talked about Dick Togo and how everything is super snug. Like when he does something, it looks like he means like he's doing it, and then he's not just doing it because it's part of the sequence. I feel like I see a lot of that fire in Simon, which is very infectious for a pro wrestler.
Yep. We were talking about it, right? We were ringside. We were saying that we look at each other. I think after he did one sequence where he was like really shouting and like expressing himself, and then we look at each other. We said, "Yeah, he got it."
Yeah, he got
it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the I don't even know how to explain it. It's like he feels real in there.
Yeah,
you know, the
he
fire
feels like
is
he's
real.
struggling. He's trying to perform for the crowd.
Or he's really hurting when, you know, something bad is done to him, that kind of thing. So I really like, you know, I really enjoy what Simon does in there. There was a very scary Poison Runner spot.
Yeah, I think he landed on his head or shoulder.
Yeah. I forget who was taking it, but I think it was Simon doing a reverse Hurricane Rana on Kelvin, if I'm not mistaken. And then Kelvin looked like he landed on his shoulder, a bit of the neck, or whatever the case. I hope everyone's all right. You know,
I think it was Simon who was doing the Poison Runner, and as he couldn't rotate fully, and he actually landed on his neck. Yeah. But he kind of powered through it, so I hope he's okay. You actually kind of like I was about to bring up that point actually. Yeah, so it's glad that we are in sync.
Yeah.
I thought that because of the matches focus on Showtime.
Yeah.
It kind of took away the spotlight. It took away the
shine.
the other team took the back seat to the story.
I mean, look, if you feel the same way, and we didn't even talk about this, you know, beforehand, it means that it's quite obvious lah. It's obvious to the two of us that the other two didn't really get the moment, but it's fine. You know, that's why you have the next event for them to have their moment. I'm sure you know it will be planned out.
No, but I mean, Amplify, I guess Simon got the huge spotlight where he had that one-on-one match with Greg. Again, Remus also took a back seat, but he already had that big match. So I guess it's this time around, it was more about spotlighting other people. But again, Kelvin, I think he has a really great potential. He has a great look. I mean, the guy looking good, man. I hope he's getting the ladies, man. Yeah, sure. But the point I'm trying to make is that he has a great look. But like how John Cena was when he first started out, white meat baby face, bro. I mean, I don't know whether he's trying to play across that he's very innocent and naive. Maybe that's what he's trying to play across.
I look at this match and I think of like there's so much potential in all four. Like, I mean, I talk about the great one wrestler, like you know, but you know, like what you said, like, you know, there was a time where John Cena was the prototype. You know, it was like, okay, he will evolve from there. And I see a lot of potential from all four. And if you think about it, right, all four have very different vibes. Could this be the OVW4?
Ooh. I mean, they are the young generation in AEW, or not say AEW, GrappleMax.
GrappleMax, right?
Yeah, GrappleMax.
So you have Julian, who's more of a character-based guy, right? You got Kelvin, who's like, you know, he looks great. You know, you
like,
got Simon,
he's the blue chipper.
Blue chipper, yes. You got Simon, who's like, you know, this daredevil.
He's Darby Allin.
Allen-ish.
Leo Rush,
And you got Ryan, who's the great one wrestler.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need a better name.
Yeah, and Ryan apparently had a little confrontation with referee Ryan in the crowd, so that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was quite funny. Okay, let's check out the finish of this match right here. Here you go, the big swanton bomb. From the heavens!
I love it. I mean, I always worry whether they will hit the piping on top, but they always manage to clear it.
There you go. Nice finish.
Great match. Again, I think one thing good if you attend GrappleMax shows, especially if now that they're gonna try to roll out once a year, right? Once a month. An event a month, right? You really get to see the wrestlers grow. You get a chance to like, hey, you know what? I want to keep an eye on this wrestler, and then you can see how he grows throughout. You know, so maybe this referee, this not referee Ryan, but this Ryan might grow on us, you know. in a
Oh,
couple of months.
absolutely. You know, and not only that, right? Their sort of commitment to keeping this story long-term storytelling. You know, so remember last week, Big Dave was talking about how he has that Word document, but in his head.
There you go.
So-
Irvin, what up, bro? Your perfect timing. We haven't even talked about AEW Full Gear yet, so
Well, it's not like we're going to talk too much about it because
Hey,
you know
come on.
it's AEW.
Come on.
All right, let's move on to the main event of the evening. Okay, Wilson, Hotshot Wilson, of course, versus Big Dave. Big Dave healing it up, doesn't want to shake hands, essentially doing the heel thing, not giving the crowd what they want, which is what good heels do, right?
again, I need to emphasize, amazing video package, bro. Amazing, man. Shout out to Remus. It made it felt like a big deal.
Yep.
If no one knew anything about Wilson after that video, everyone in the audience was rooting for Wilson to win. And
Yes.
the reactions for this match, the reactions for Wilson and the support for him was incredible, bro. This felt like a yes movement happening, bro.
It did. I mean, Wilson had all the baby fire face in this match, you know, and the crowd pops as well. Like, I think the two biggest pops was when Dick Togo kicked out of the low blow.
Yeah.
and you know, Wilson himself, right? Okay. I don't know if he's ever talked about this. I can't remember if we've ever asked him before, but I feel like Dave has a preferred spot. Like, a lot of the matches I notice he does the same spot, which is the hand to the post.
Yeah, I get
Dave,
what you mean. Like,
if you're still there, like, it's like, you know, like how Ric Flair does the Flair flop or the over the turnbuckle drop, right?
yeah.
I feel like Dave has his favorite spot, which is he goes to chop the guy at the ring post, but the guy moves and then he injures his own hand.
Yeah, bro, you okay or not? You know, you've been hitting the ring post so many times. Dave, is your hands okay?
Yeah,
I'm just
right
asking.
hand, bro, right hand.
Out of concern.
Okay, so the spot was there, but I don't know if they played it into the story. Dave was selling it, you know, so kudos to Dave, but I don't think Wilson was actively working on it much
Working on
at
the
all.
arm, working on the hand.
No. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The match. Okay, the first half of the match was a lot of Wilson just getting his ass kicked, lah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think Dave establishing dominance.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
It's to set the underdog vibe for Wilson, lah.
yeah. Dave replied that Dave's first accident thought.
That's
Bro.
Dave's first accident thought.
Bro,
Although,
I thought your English better than me. What happened, bro?
hey, don't start some shit, bro. What are you doing?
Hey,
Wait, is that the first time you've missed? I feel like you've missed that spot. I mean, not missed that spot, but you've missed the chop. I mean, Big Dave has missed the spot. The chop. Oh, good lord, my English also.
bro? You okay? Let's take 1 minute break. Let's go drink water.
Everyone drink water. Reset the brain. Reset the mouth. Huh? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I could have sworn you've done that spot several times. But anyway, that aside, though, okay, did you think that Wilson was going to win? Because I thought it was a shock win. And all the more, it made everyone, I think everyone also thought it was going to go Dave's way, right? And that's why I think the pop was so huge at the end. Like, oh my God, he actually did it.
Yeah. In my mind, I thought that, it was gonna be Wilson's time, but
you did.
I was very curious how they were gonna do it because
Right.
I felt like Dave was super OP going into the match. I haven't seen Wilson wrestle in a while, so I'm not sure what's his condition, whether he's on the ball, whether he's in shape, blah blah blah. So I was curious to see how Wilson would perform. So that's why when I was saying the first half of the match, when he was getting his ass beaten up, I was like, okay, he got to show something in the second half because you're gonna let all these people down. Everyone was supporting Wilson, but
well, that was the whole point, though, right? Like, to establish dominance so that you give your underdog, you give the babyface that quote unquote sympathy, the drive to, oh, I want to cheer him, I want him to win. And when he finally does, you know, and even with the shenanigans, even with the ref bump and then the chair shot. Let's talk about the chair shot.
Oh dear God, yeah, it was a crazy sequence of events. I think it felt like a main event match per se.
Yes.
But shout out to the audience, man. I think the audience really dictated the reactions in the match, the flow of the match.
Well, hang on. You are giving kudos to the audience, right? But I think they made the audience do that.
No,
You know what I mean?
Away. I wouldn't take that away. But I felt like it was like Hogan Rock, Yes, the performers were giving a lot and getting those reactions out of the audience, but I think the audience were really predisposed to want to cheer the heck out of Wilson and wanted Wilson to win. There was a lot of emotion, I think, in the crowd because there was certain times I saw like some of the crowds were tearing up, and this is not even when the match ended. During the course of the match, feeling the sympathy for Wilson. So Wilson was doing something right,
So we had the ref bump, we had the chair shot by Big Dave, and when Wilson kicks out of the chair shot, massive pop. And now, let me get into conspiracy theory mode here. I'm going to put on my conspiracy hat here, but I feel like this sequence was done on purpose because if you remember the quote-unquote co-main event before the intermission, something similar happened that resulted Dick Togo, got the low blow, goes down, takes the pin, but he kicks out, huge pop, right? But ultimately, the bad guy still won. In this case, they flipped the script. So because you were already predisposed, because we watched the first match, the Dick Togo Jordan match, to think that, the bad guy's still going to retain. But he swerved us. And I wonder if that was done on purpose or am I reading too much into it?
Well, I think I would say that there must have been some thought put into it. I think the whole point of a great card, right, is everything that happens at the start of the night creates the preconceived notions of what you expect to happen, and then they can kind of like, subvert it in the main event, right?
Yes. Tony Khan, please pay attention.
Please pay attention to Smart Dave. Okay.
So I love that actually happened. So Dave goes to the top, does a dive, RKO out of nowhere.
Holy shit, amazing.
Boom, crowd explodes, crowd goes crazy. You know what? Let's hang on. I got it right here. Here. This was a moment.
When it happened, right?
Yeah, after the RKO.
This is like seconds after the RKO win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the look of joy, elation.
Yeah, I kind of swerved around to the audience.
Look at the audience.
Audience was a huge standing ovation, man.
Yeah.
Huge standing ovation.
Absolutely. Look at what a deserved moment. What a moment.
Yeah. I'm just gonna watch this and savor it. Because this is literally one of the biggest pops, I think, in Singapore wrestling history, bro. And it's amazing that they gave Wilson that moment,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well fought match. I thought the story that they, or rather the journey that they took us through was a really, really good journey. And it, ended with a great climax.
Yeah. Were you shocked with the steel chair directly to the head, bro? Were you shocked by that?
First of all, it's a plastic chair. Our chair is plastic one, not steel.
Bro, have you tried to hit your chair?
Oh God, it still hurts. I know. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I wasn't surprised. I thought it led to a really good moment, lah. And as long as you're not doing it over and over and over again, at least it means something. You know what I mean? We talked about this ad nauseum. If you do it once in a whole show, then it means something. If you do it 10 times in a show, then it means nothing. So it meant something. It was one of the key spots in the main event. So it meant something. Yeah.
Bro, I agree with OGJ. That was the best moment of the night. Couldn't agree more. Hey, shout out to Jason from Brunei.
Alvin, what's up as well? It's good to see you, man. Everybody in the chat. If you're listening to this on the podcast wondering, hey, what chat are we talking about? We actually live stream. If you didn't know already, we live stream the podcast every Tuesday, Singapore time at noon. So feel free to join us. It's a different experience being here and just listening to it on the podcast, on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah, I know, definitely for sure. But also some people say that they enjoy listening to it on Spotify while they're doing their work or having it in their earpiece while their boss is there beside them. Good.
Hey,
thanks,
however you listen to the podcast, we say thank you so much. By the way, we have a Discord. Come join our Discord, link in description. We have a Patreon as well. Shout out to all our Patreons. Their names are in the scroller at the bottom. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on.
Well, speaking of Patreon, right, I wanted to do a bit of a hint, Mr. Yang, just to hype things up, guys. For those who are part of a Patreon, right, we want to thank you because our season finale is coming out really, really soon.
That's
people forget, right, that every season we do up to 40 episodes, 35 to 40 episodes. It literally 10 months of the year, we are doing a podcast each week.
Yeah.
Now I believe this is episode 33, Mr. Young. 33, right? Yeah. So we have 2 more episodes to go. So we will still cover Full Gear review. We
Do
will
we have
still,
to?
yes, we
Do we
should.
have to?
We should.
Oh,
And we
shit.
also will review our final episode this season finale. Will be reviewing Survivor Series.
Yes.
And then we will go on our, yearly hiatus.
Yeah.
But, remember last year we had a great way to kind of thank the fans. We had like a wrestle, kick to the gut party.
Yep.
This time around, I think we want to do something different. And we want to make it a bit more exclusive. We want to do it for our Patreon members. So, should we announce it right here first, or should we kind of keep it until it's confirmed?
I think once we, dot the I's and slash the T's, then we'll confirm. But we're going to do something for the end of the year. It's going to be fun. Akan datang. Wait, watch this space.
Akan datang.
Coming
But
soon.
I want to make it clear, it's for our Patreon members. So if you want to support our Patreon, this is what you're going to get at the end of the year as a thank you.
Not too late, not too late to jump in, huh?
Yeah, not too late. Still got time. Please.
Very nice.
Any tier would do. Okay, so anyway, yes, back to what we wanted to wrap up about the show, right?
Yep.
I think this 7th anniversary overall, I felt it was a great evolution of the company. It was a great new beginning, because, you got the new space.
New champ.
You got a new champ. We really got the audience in this full capacity, kind of really experiencing GrappleMax in this new environment for the first time.
Bro, you got a celebrity, a bona fide celebrity in the house.
You're not talking about the podcast boys, talking about
No, not talking about
not talking about us.
No, not talking about us. No, absolutely not. No, talking about who. Yeah.
No. But the point is,
I was joking to LK. Did you film how when you watch wrestling or you watch UFC, they always cut to like celebrities in the crowd. Then they go, from the LA Lakers or so and so.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they do that for this video? Cut to Ray Low Black from such videos as
yeah, and then they cut to us, Foreign and Mr. Young with our 7 pictures.
Different level. There are levels to this game, bro. And she don't have Patreon. She probably has OnlyFans. Anyway, that's a different story altogether. Or some.
You do not want a Mr. Young and Foreign OnlyFans, guys. You do.
If I do, I'll just put a lot of actual fans.
Yeah.
Fans, okay.
Mr. Young's OnlyFans. They got a bunch of fans beside you.
I'm sure this joke has been done before, so I won't do it.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, to your point too, what a way to wrap up the year, and it's not even over, right? There's an event in December you were talking about.
Yes, correct. And also don't forget we got another wrestling show, a local wrestling show in SPW, end of I believe next week Friday, right? Viva La Lucha with
that's right, Kalisto. Or formerly known as Kalisto, he's going to be in town. So it's going to be fun. Singapore wrestling is really, really hotting up. And it's very exciting to be in the scene.
Hotting up or heating up, Mr. Young?
Hotting up, heating up. Everything is hot. You got celebrities showing up. It's heating up. Bro, I don't know if she's still going to be in town by that event. But maybe she'll be at the SPW. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, we'll have someone as a guest on the show to kind of hype up the SPW event. So stay tuned next week for that preview. But now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Wow, hang on. Before we get to that though, do we want to hear from the champ and the former champ? Because we did post this on our social media pages, so feel free to go over and take a look. But just in case you missed it, right? Actually, also I also want to show you this clip. And Remus did this, right? So this is what it means to them, and I love to see this sort of camaraderie. This is after Wilson had won the title, right? You can see how emotional Remus gets.
This is my thumb.
Yeah, right. You see how emotional it gets and what it means to them.
Yeah. I mean, crying their eyes out for a inglorious teammate that won the title. Respect to Remus. I mean, he had his chance at the title, but now he is showing love to his comrade there.
Yeah, and this is really very much in a it's very much in a shoot way. The emotions are real. You know what I mean? So okay, let's first of all talk. I'm gonna say it, bro. I'm gonna say it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's hear from the former GrappleMax Openweight Champion.
Mr. Young, Kick to the Gut podcast here with the former GrappleMax Openweight Champion, Big Dave. Big Dave, what went wrong with the game plan today? Former?
Now you understand, Mr. Young. Now you understand me.
the former...
No, repeat that again.
The former...
Repeat that again.
The former...
Shut up. I'll do the interview. You like the match?
Yeah,
You like the show?
it was a great...
You like me?
Do you
You know what you saw?
rewind back to
It
your
doesn't
primary
matter.
school self?
No.
Getting scolded by your teacher.
Hotshot Wilson was the better man tonight. Okay. 5 years journey. He fought hard for this. I got complacent. He won. Congrats to him. Wilson, I told you, when you get up to the mountain, at the peak of the mountain, there's nothing beyond that. It's gonna get real lonely up there. I hope you have the resolve to stay up there. And you, could you say former again?
Former...
Shut the F up.
Okay, wait.
Poor
Hang on.
guy.
I
You
swear,
kena
right?
Shovanit.
Right, got Shivani. Bro, I swear, right? You know what I wanted to do at that time when he's like, say former again. Say former again. I wanted to say former again. But I was like, no. Don't fucking, don't troll.
no.
Don't troll. Don't make a joke. Just like.
Bro,
So
he
that-
will chop the shit out of you like how
I
his
know.
red chest
Right,
is right now.
I wanted to troll him by saying former again and get him to crack, but no lah. I was like, okay, no, we're filming this. This is gonna be a thing. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kudos. Look, let's give all the kudos to Big Dave. You know, like obviously he's a guy we've chatted with before. We love the guy to bits, and he passed the torch, as it were, on to Hotshot. He's always game for an interview, as you can tell right here.
I mean, he definitely carried the company throughout this whole year. So we can't forget his achievements as well. The inaugural GrappleMax Openweight Champion.
Well done. Remember last time we spoke with him, last episode, he did mention something about back injuries. He needs to rehab stuff. So maybe this was his time to like, all right, now it's time for me to take a back seat and rest up the body before coming back. So now it's on Hotshot Wilson's shoulders.
So my thinking right now, right, is like, we've had a lot of great wrestlers come through GrappleMax, but we've only had 2 champions now, being Dave and then now being Wilson. Isn't it crazy to think that we've had people like LK who has never held a title, Greg became a champion, Showtime, even DJ Cal. I know he's like so-called say that he's retired, but like come on, you gotta get back and like challenge for the title. DJ Cal, we should have said hi to you that day.
Yeah.
So
look,
that.
This is wrestling. Never say never, bro. Never say never. You know he'll be back at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I can be more mean, Gene. What does that even mean?
So you'll be like, fuck this shit lah.
Just whack only, okay, let's check out this chat we had with Wilson. The new...
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Mr. Young from Kick to the Gut podcast here with the new GrappleMax Openweight Champion, Hotshot Wilson. How does that sound right now? And new.
Oh, it's been a long time coming. Wow, so many emotions right now. I can't. Forgive me. It's been a very, very long ride. 6+ years of training, 5+ years wrestling or live shows. Just for this one moment, it's indescribable. The moment I came out, the crowd, everybody just screamed my name. Every single move, every single hit I did. Wow, I can't really. It's something so special to me. It's a part of me right now, and I don't know how I can live without it anymore.
Big Dave took you to the limit. Tell me how it felt in the ring with him, because you've known him for a very long time, but you had his number today.
I mean, eventually I would, right? Because I faced Big Dave so many times. So many times we have so much chemistry together. It feels like we know each other inside out. But every single time I fight him, it's new, it's different. Big Dave is our head coach. He knows me. He's been training with me. He's been training. He's sorry about this. A lot of nerds.
Yeah, a lot of emotions right now, I can tell.
I finally got his number today, and I can't tell you how much excitement that gives me. That brings me to me. It's really an indescribable feeling. I can't control right now.
Champ, what do you want to say to the people who love you, who have supported you from day one?
Oh, I really have a huge fan.
No.
I really love you guys. for
Dude,
supporting
bro,
me. A lot of my friends that came today, I have some of my secondary school friends who used to do wrestling in school, try out the moves and tables and everything. They've been here today. My army friends I just mentioned, they watch me in bunk, watching videos, telling them, I'm going to try this after I ORD, I'm just going to do it. And they're like, just go for it, man, just go for it, we'll support you. And they came for my debut, and they came today. And I hope I've given them a show that they'll never forget.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The brand new GrappleMax Openweight Champion, Hotshot Wilson. Congrats, champ.
Thank you so much.
Couldn't be more proud. Like, what a moment. You can tell that, he had been waiting for a long time for it, right? The journey is there. But like Dave mentioned, now he's at the top of the mountain. Everyone is going to be gunning for him. So we'll see how he deals with the pressure. What I will say from a media person's perspective is this, right? I would suggest that everybody, right, who is training also spend some time doing content. As in working on, okay, so by doing content, what I don't mean like, go and be a TikToker, right? But what I have, and this will sound very weird coming from me, as someone who's been on radio for a long time, right? Being on video is a different story altogether. It takes a lot of practice. So that's why you see these people on TikTok, they're so natural in front of a camera. It's because they are living in front of a camera almost 24/7, right? So I think in a lot of ways, because, wrestling at the end of the day is a very performative sort of medium, I think it would help them, especially like, okay, you look at people like Sean P, like Big Dave, it comes naturally to them. It doesn't come naturally to everybody. So, and I would dare say it doesn't come naturally to me being in front of a camera. It took me many, many years of practice to actually be in front of a camera, to be comfortable, to blah, 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 and talk.
I mean, it came naturally to me, so it's no problem. Just kidding.
See, look at it for
no, it's tough. It's you will become super self-conscious. I agree.
Yeah. So I feel like to get to that level of being natural in front of a camera, it's practice. You cannot escape one. You cannot have the mentality of, some people are just better at it. No, you can get better. It's just you need to do it every day. That's why I'm not. Okay, maybe I phrased it wrongly. I'm like, no, I'm not saying go and do TikTok. If you want to film yourself doing promos every day with your camera but never post it, that's fine. Do that. But I think that it will help in the presentation in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've seen some people like, SPW's very own Butcherman. Like, he's great. He created his character. He practices it. He puts up content constantly on TikTok as well. You gotta be able to project your character, even if you want to play like the silent guy. But the silent guy also need to have charisma as well,
No, that's exactly it, right? The silent guy isn't just a fella who's quiet. Like there needs to be an aura about you, and you need to practice it somehow. Get it out there. Get people who are honest with you to tell you, okay, this is working, this is not working. Maybe you do this a little bit too much. And okay, I'll give you an example, right? I don't know if you noticed in those two interview clips when I was talking to Dave. Dave is projecting Big Dave, right? The whole time, right? With Wilson, I can tell like he's moving away from me. I don't know if you noticed this. Like it's just a small thing, but it's almost as if he's afraid of the mic. And I noticed this with a lot of people. When I go out and do my road shows, or I'm hosting stage shows, whenever someone sticks a mic in people's face and they are not comfortable with it, they start physically drifting away. No, it's a subconscious thing. I've seen this happen 1,000,001 times.
Interesting, very interesting.
So I feel like to be a character, you need to embrace the mic, embrace the camera. Be like, okay, camera's on. It's now just time for me to be me. And whatever that you is, if you're the shy guy, if you're the silent guy, if you're the big, boisterous, energetic guy, it's time for you to project and not shy away from it. Does that make sense?
It's very cool that you say that, because I'm just thinking back about the first few times we did this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were just doing it audio-wise. Even in terms of audio, I was so afraid to... just let's be very upfront, right? I always had to try to live up to your level, because you're already an expert, you're a pro in this, you're a veteran DJ, and I'm just a guy who loves wrestling and who happens to be very knowledgeable about it, right? But then, I picked up a lot of things from you. I kind of... embrace my tone of voice. I got used to hearing myself speak and not be awkward by it or self-conscious of it. And then when we transitioned, I think in season 3 to videos, it was during COVID. Yes, we had no choice. We had to be away. But I think that forced us to be able to project ourselves. So I feel like right now, both of us can like take turns, tag each other in, interview anyone, and still be able to be ourselves, but in a way that is charismatic and project to other people as well.
And that's why I say the beauty of something like social media, and don't worry about the likes, the numbers, right? Use it as practice. Practice. Because I tell you what, the first few, you will be glad that only 5 people saw. because because you're probably like nervous. You're like, you know what I mean? But once you start gaining traction, you'll realize, oh, that's because I'm getting better at this shit because I'm doing it all the time, right? And then you start building, that's how you start growing an audience. I think a lot of that performative aspects, the presentation aspect of wrestling is related to this. You know, there's synergies there, as it were.
Yeah, but I think it's important to be very authentically you. I mean, maybe for Wilson, right? Yeah, he probably doesn't have the the experience being in front of a camera or like performing or cutting promos yet, but like I think I heard a bit of his story about how he got his NS friends who was super supportive of him going in.
That's a great story that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, and I feel like for somebody like him, he reminds me of like Captain America, like Chris Evans, where if you really listen to his story, he's a Boston guy. He's an everyday guy. He has his bros that he's always been friends with for the last 20 years. He's shy in nature, but that is actually very appealing, or that is actually attracts people to him.
So is he? Is Wilson now going to be Captain Singapore?
I mean, why not? Hey, I mean, he got a great NS story, perfect for a Wonder World article.
Oh my God. All right. There you have it. That's our recap of GrappleMax 7th anniversary. Thank you so much for having us there. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to go to the next one. Like I said, local wrestling is a lot of fun. It's definitely something you should check out if you haven't already checked it out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we should get to the main event of this podcast.
Oh yeah, clearly this is, okay. Can I just say, right? Like, I'm very surprised by this as well. How easy it's been for me to not watch any AEW. So this I will have to defer to you completely. I'll be completely upfront and transparent here. This will be the first podcast I will not talk shit about AEW because I have nothing to talk about. I haven't been watching. And the one thing that has really taken me by surprise is how easy it is to just completely just divorce myself because the content cycle out there, and I'm thinking about this from a macro perspective, right? Like a quote-unquote casual. I'm a casual when it comes to AEW now, in that, like, unless I see it on Instagram, I don't know it's happening. So it's very interesting how it was so super easy for me to just completely divorce myself away from the whole AEW universe, as it were. So that being said, I have the card in front of me. Shall we jump into it?
Yes, we can. I mean, I can be very honest with you as well. AEW has been deprioritized in terms of my viewing habits. Right. Of course, I told you before, I love when CM Punk was heading up Collision, right? But right now, I had to remind myself, hey, Sunday morning, I should check out what's happening in Collision. So I do catch matches here and there that I enjoy per se, but I can't sit through a whole entire show, to be really honest. Yeah.
I noticed that they added Tony Schiavone to the announce desk at Collision.
Yeah.
Why?
I heard that this is actually an ask from Schiavone he said that he wanted to get a lead commentary on like Rampage or something. But then Tony Khan put him in Collision with Kevin Kelly and Nigel.
But Kevin is already the lead guy. Kevin Kelly is the lead guy and he's good. He's better. So why
he's
is
the best?
He's the exactly. Best. So what is and then Nigel is really good as well. Like I really enjoy from what I remember of Collision, like I like that announce team, and now and we've talked about Tony Schiavone. He's just he's a good like like what I did with Big Dave. Like he's an interview guy, get bullied a bit,
Yeah,
that's his
I think
role,
he's great
right?
at that role. But maybe I get it. He's old age. He's just been doing it for 30 plus years. He wants to do something else, but
what?
A bit too late to do something else, I don't know,
But to the detriment of the product.
Yeah,
like Tony Khan should have been like, okay, I respect that you want to do it, but this is not what we need. Like that's what the boss needs to say, right?
Yeah. And
it's not like he's shoving him in a non-existent role. He's still on the commentary team on Dynamite.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know lah.
There's a lot of things that we can pinpoint that I had issues with AEW, but I can talk about the good things as well.
Sure.
I think right now the overarching theme right now is MJF fighting on all comers. Everyone's gunning for the title, and also the mystery of the devil. I think people are starting to get intrigued by it because there have been some signs that it could mean a lot of people. One could be somebody that people really would love.
Mm-hmm.
One could be somebody people would really, really hate if that were to come true. But
So
people
I
are
heard-
speculating.
Yeah, I saw the rumors, or people were speculating, what if like friggin' it's CM Punk? It's CM Punk all along, right?
Or that would have been the biggest swerve. Will that be the time where you tell everyone like, okay, actually this Tony Khan managed to outsmart all of us?
Yeah, no, I think they need a moment like that to get me back. Someone who's been quote unquote completely divorced from the product, right? That's when you need to do something big to get people interested.
Not snort coke, like NWA.
No,
But
what the fuck?
no,
yeah.
not that.
No, but okay. So my whole like idea of when I say that I've been completely disconnected from AEW is because nothing that I've seen has interested me. Like has really like gotten me. Oh shit! I need to go and watch the product. You know what I mean? Whereas WWE, for better or for worse, some stuff yes, not everything, but there's at least one thing that makes me want to go back and watch. Even if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm very busy, but shit, I better watch this match. It looks like it's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. I think they have not done a good job in terms of marketing. It's a Captain Marvel problem, I feel. I feel like there are some great gems, but it's hidden and it's not being highlighted. Like, for example, I believe the opening match of Collision, I think was Garcia. I can't remember, Daniel Garcia versus somebody. I can't remember, but it was a really good match. And MJF actually had a world title match with Daniel Garcia as well. All these are great matches, but hidden in certain hours of the wrestling time slot.
It's Tony Khan style. He likes to just throw things together. Okay, here we go. The pre-show match is MJF and TBA versus the Guns. Okay. Is this
This is for the Ring of Honor
yeah,
Tag Team
I know.
Championship, right?
Why your main guy got to do first match, last match? Like, poor guy, man. What the hell?
Yeah, you know what? I blame Adam Cole for this. Adam Cole convinced MJF to challenge for the tag team titles. They won it, and then Adam Cole purposely got injured. Not purposely, but got himself injured. So he kind of like screwed over his best friend. Don't you think so?
A little bit. How are the Guns doing? Last we checked, like they had a lot of potential. They have a really cool entrance with the Bullet Club Gold, right? One of the coolest entrances out there right now, actually.
As Jim Cornette would say, the leader of Bullet Club Gold shouldn't be the leader. They got three guys who are way more charismatic than Jay White.
Yes.
And the Guns are part of that as well. Yeah.
Tell me about this match. Like, is this something you're looking forward to? Like, is this whole mystery partner thing something that they're actively pushing, or is it going to be another case of MJF versus the 1v2?
I mean, they have been hinting. You can't tell me who it is because I don't follow like who they are trying to like get as the partner. But on the Gun side, right? Honestly, people talk about how AEW has been focusing on all these old timers coming back and signing with the company. But the Guns are really one of the gems and one of the shining lights in the company, even until now. Like, I feel like they always straddle between being underappreciated and underrated to people realizing how great they are and then getting their flowers. You know what I mean? They're in that sphere right now.
But I'll throw this as an example. The Acclaim got themselves over.
Yep.
But then, poor booking fell flat, right?
The Guns hasn't even gotten over the hump of being like spotlighted yet. Because the Acclaim has gotten that shine and now it's on the downward trend, right?
Yep.
The Guns, I think, needs a title to establish themselves. I think the ROH is a perfect kind of spot for them at this point in time.
And plus, it seems the ROH tag team titles are a bit of an albatross on MJF's neck, right? It's holding him down because like he doesn't have a partner to do this with. So every time they paint themselves into a corner with this booking. So does it make sense that the Guns just take the titles from him?
Yeah, they should, because especially if Adam Cole is still gonna be injured for a way long time, all the way until the new year. No point trying to maintain this storyline, keep it going lah. Just move on from it.
Yeah. Okay.
Take your
there
losses.
You go. And it will be on the pre-show. So, Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Tony Storm. I know you love the new Timeless Tony Storm.
Yes.
How has Shida been as champion? And is it time for Timeless to regain?
Okay, let's talk about the good things first, right? Like Timeless Tony Storm. We talk about the gems in AEW, hidden gems. I mean, I don't think she's a hidden gem, but I still feel she's really underappreciated, underrated. Timeless Tony Storm, she got that gimmick over. She's amazing, charismatic. She does this thing where she will, before she runs and does her like ass bump right into the ring at the ring corner, right?
Yeah.
She will ask the what do you call it? What's the main camera called? I can't remember.
The hard cam.
The hard cam, yes, to zoom in on her face. So she has this like
Yeah,
Like really nice pose, close up, very Vogue, and then she does that thing. So like she's getting her character over, which
Yeah.
is very rare to say about AEW women's wrestler because
Sure.
you can't really recall who is over. Shout out to Julia Hart though. Julia Hart is doing some great shit as well. But yeah, Timeless Toni Storm needs to have the title right now because the last time she held the title, she was a great worker without any discerning character. But now she has the character and the work rate. And let's be really honest, Hikaru Shida is like the kind of wrestler who is like you will support her.
Yep.
But then the moment she becomes champion, you just forget about her. Like
So she's still, her gimmick is still Japanese.
her gimmick is just Japanese who is like a great wrestler who cosplay as Resident Evil, the hot, with the red dress.
Resident Evil. You mean Final Fantasy? Oh
it
no,
Final Fantasy?
you mean Ada Wong during Halloween?
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Ada
Because her
Wong,
her regular outfit looks like Tifa from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. She did Ada Wong. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
She's great as a chaser. I think a lot of wrestlers have this problem. They are great when they're chasing the title. People are supporting, but the moment they become champion, okay, story end. I'm bored.
Bianca Belair, Io Sky, all those.
All these people.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Timeless Toni Storm for the win all the way.
Okay, it says here Toni Storm with Luther. Has Luther been hanging around Toni Storm? Is that a thing?
I'm not too sure. Okay, this is the part where the gaps like needs to be filled by somebody that's not me.
Okay.
But there has been a recent signing from Stardom. I do not know whether you are aware of this wrestler called Mariah May.
I saw that they signed somebody and I saw the comment section. I'm like, who? So
yeah, Mariah May is all elite. She did a interview backstage on Dynamite with RJ to introduce herself. It looks like they're gonna play off that Trish Stratus, Mickey James fangirl gimmick. So her promo was quite interesting. So Mariah May, she's really, really good by the way, because I saw some of her highlights in Stardom. She said in the promo is that I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm. Wherever she goes, I follow. When she was in Stardom, I went to Stardom. So now she's in AEW, I followed her to AEW.
Interesting.
So she's got a psycho gimmick going on. So I'm very curious to see how she will factor into this. No idea how Luther factors into this. So
Muhammad Gaddafi says Luther is her butler, carries her shoes.
Really?
Okay.
Wait, are we talking about Luther like the veteran wrestler Luther that is friends with Chris Jericho? Luther?
Yeah. The botak head fella. Yeah, I assume that's who it is. But let's move on. I obviously can't subject to change the order, but I have here Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland with Ric Flair. Boy, versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne, 6-man tag team match, part of the Sting retirement tour here.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate Gaddafi being in the chat right now because I think he's our AEW expert at this point in time. I have to defer to him really. My expertise has gone out the window. But I just want to understand right now. So we have Darby Allin, Sting, Adam Copeland against what do you call it? Nick Wayne,
Cage,
Christian Cage,
Lucha,
and Lucha, right?
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but I want to ask you something. One pay-per-view ago, Adam Copeland debuted. Wrestle Dream, right? Biggest part of the night, huge news. Why is his first pay-per-view appearance in a 6-man?
For Stigma, look, we've talked about it before. You know, like Edge, Copeland, he was always like that B champ, right? Like he's not a Cena, he's not a Rock, Hogan, Austin, and here, like I don't know, man. Like his hype dropped so much faster than Bryan Danielson, than CM Punk, like so much faster.
I'm almost angry at how AEW has used Adam Copeland.
Yeah,
like
wait, see, here's the thing though. You can't really be angry because we know that he probably has a lot of say in this as well. So
agree. Maybe it's very misguided because the whole point of him returning was he wanted to feud with or so-called interact with Christian Cage, right? And Christian Cage wanted to be tag team champions. I mean, he wanted to be tag team champions with his former partner, but then Christian Cage telling him to fuck off.
Yep.
And then he said that, I can't fight my partner, he's my friend, I will always love him, right? Isn't it the perfect time to do a Undertaker Kane storyline where I refuse to fight my friend, right? They should have just gone separate ways for a while.
Yeah. But they abandoned that completely and now they're fighting each other.
Yeah, within 2 weeks, each speared Christian Cage and then now they're part of a tag team fighting each other. So again, missed opportunity. I remember the first night, the press scrum, Adam Copeland said, I got all these wrestlers that I've never wrestled. I wanted to wrestle Kenny Omega. I wanted to wrestle Samoa Joe, blah, blah, blah. bro, why not Edge Kenny Omega one-on-one match, full gear? Perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have been a huge deal.
Yeah, but now,
Like, yeah.
you know that Edge and Christian versus the Hardys are coming. Anyway, you know that shit is coming, just so that TK can do it.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I've never been a huge like WCW guy myself, right? So Sting and his retirement tour isn't a huge draw for me. Like if you told me this match was on the card, I wouldn't buy the card. Like,
Yeah. I mean, dude, this would have been a great main event of Dynamite. To be really honest.
No, yeah. It does sound like a main event of a Dynamite.
But Edge's Adam Copeland's first in-ring appearance in a match shouldn't have been against Luchasaurus. I'm sorry, that was a bad mistake. It should have been for this pay-per-view. First ever match outside of the WWE in 30 years from Adam Copeland. Shouldn't have been a much bigger deal.
We know that Tony Khan is not big on long-term booking and milking moments. He just wants to throw everything together for whatever week he feels shook lah. So it is what it is.
How do you think Ric Flair will factor into this whole scenario?
I'm very worried for him. I'm very worried for him because I know that his boss can't say no to him, and I'm very afraid that at some point he's gonna have a match.
You know what I think?
What?
It's gonna be the craziest thing, but if it really happens, I won't be surprised.
What?
So right now, Ric Flair is on Sting's side, right?
He turns.
End of the match, he turns, he aligns with Christian Cage itself, and then somewhere down the line, I know Tony Khan can't help it. His balls are so itchy. He will say, let's do Ric Flair versus Sting to headline a Dynamite. First match in TNT in Warner in over 30 years.
Dude,
Mark my words.
Look,
Mark
okay,
my words.
as much as I don't want to see Ric Flair, if they must have Ric Flair, do it on the pay-per-view. Why would you do it on a Dynamite? But then again, it does sound like something that Tony Khan would do. So okay, there you go. I still maintain that he should just remain retired. Seriously, don't let him even take one bump. Let him chop somebody. That's it.
Let him stay in the ringside. Really, don't make the story about him. Please make it about Sting.
Yeah.
Please make it about Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I mean, eventually they will have that one-on-one match. And please highlight Darby Allin. Don't let Darby Allin be the third wheel in this when he's supposed to be the star.
Yeah.
The main star, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
And Nick Wayne is a long way from, being a highlighted guy lah. So he still has a lot of things to prove. Okay, let's move on then to the International Championship match. Haven't these two fought each other before? The Orange Cassidy is the champion again.
Orange Cassidy, yeah. So he won the title back from Rey Fenix, I believe. And then now, John Moxley wants to get his title back that he shouldn't have lost when he,
got concussed.
Concussed himself, yeah.
Good God, man. I have no interest in this match whatsoever. But go ahead. Tell me if this is something that you're looking forward to.
Okay, I am looking forward to what you're going to do next with this international title because clearly it was made for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy has carried it or, made it somewhat relevant because there was a point in time he has been more prominently featured on the TV than even a TNT champion, right? So right now, I would say the stock for this title is pretty high. My question is, once John Moxley takes it, is he gonna make it like a important title? Is he gonna make it like a hardcore title? You know what I mean? What are they gonna do with this title? Because right now they are putting it on one of their bigger wrestlers. But
you're saying that Moxley will win it again?
Yeah, Moxley will win it for sure because we already had that 10-month Orange Cassidy run.
But
why you want to start another one?
But what I hate about this whole situation is Moxley already won it, and then he lost it on a nonsense thing, right? And then at this point, to me, the international title feels like just a glorified prop, right? It feels like the Intercontinental title for a long time. Before it was with Gunther, it was like passed around. It was like somebody holding it, but nobody is defending it, whatever. And let's be real now. Orange Cassidy is not. He's been a joke character for so long. There's nothing new with his personality, and it's the same. And John Moxley is the same thing, right? It's like a one-note character at this point.
Yeah.
This match feels stale as F.
I wish in another timeline they would actually explore They will
Heel?
explore like Orange Cassidy, a more nuanced version of this character. Why is he so sloth-like?
Yeah.
Why is he so relaxed? And then maybe John Moxley wants to bring out the violence in Orange Cassidy, and it becomes more like a psychological battle,
Sure.
as opposed to like just showing off their gimmick, just being badass. There is I feel like maybe because this is where the WWE part is missing, right? The performative aspect, because right now it's just I don't like you, you don't like me, I want to fight for the title, but I wish there was an ability for them to kind of like explore, deep dive each other's characters through their promos.
So you're talking about long-term storytelling, lah.
Yep. Yeah.
Elvin says, did y'all hear that AEW might have problems with their new TV deal?
Oh dear. I didn't know
I
about...
did see that NXT was moving to CW, so good on them.
Yeah, I heard about that. They're kind of separating from Raw and having to stand on their own. That's
If I'm
fine.
not mistaken, CW is part of the USA network, so it's same family. If I'm not mistaken.
CW is okay. I know C and W is actually CBS and Warner combined. I don't know whether it's actually part of Warner.
Huh?
I don't know. CW stands for a amalgamation of the two major networks.
Okay,
Yeah, you can.
let me Google that.
it.
CW is the successor to the UPN and the WB. Blah blah blah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is part of CBS Warner Brothers.
Right.
Ah.
So now you're having WWE content on Warner. Interesting. UPS, UPN used to stand for something as well. Universal, I can't remember.
UPN
Paramount Network. Or something like that.
Yeah. You're right. United Paramount Network.
Yeah. So it's basically like a successor to
Then what
But
about Raw?
No, Raw is part of USA. So USA is part of NBC Universal.
Yeah.
Different. I remember CW for what or not?
What?
All their DC.
Yeah.
DC shows.
Correct.
You had Legends of Tomorrow. All those shows were on CW. The Flash. They had Gossip Girl. So it's more of like not really prime time, not really as big as Fox, but more affiliates lah.
So wait, so you have now SmackDown. Wait, what's the permutation?
SmackDown left Fox going to USA. Network.
Yeah. NXT is on CW. Raw is still being shopped, is it?
Yes, Raw is still big shot. Raw hasn't had a home yet. Confirmed.
If Raw goes to Fox on Mondays,
they are even exploring the possibility of Raw not even being on Mondays.
that'll be huge.
Yeah, that would be huge. I mean, it's gonna be just called Raw.
Yeah, right.
I think they want to avoid Monday Night Football, but then again, with regards to AEW, because the scenario is right. I believe ESPN might be buying over the NBA rights from Warner, so they're no longer showing TNT, TBS on Warner. They're no longer showing basketball on TBS and TNT.
Yeah.
So if ESPN takes over that space, there's gonna be a huge vacuum of content that needs to be filled up. So I believe that's why Warner is trying to buy out other live sports events, and that could even be WWE, but that might come in conflict with the AEW partnership. So there's a lot of weird things going on.
Interesting. All right, let's move on with this card then. Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland, Texas Death Match.
Just to be clear, they're not in Texas having this death match.
No, but he's a cowboy, so Texas Death Match.
Can I confirm whether it's for the number one contenders title?
It doesn't say. I don't see anything on this
Yeah.
listing here.
Well, Swerve and Hangman was actually one of the better matches from the last pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream, and I think Swerve is also again another hidden gem or another underappreciated gem that deserves the spotlight. He deserves to be a main eventer.
Is Hangman showing more charisma than before or not? Because
I would say having his house invaded and Swerve going to the baby's crib, I think brought out some fire in him. So he is legitimately pissed off, I guess. So there is some fire there. Yeah.
The child got a free shirt
Oh dear God.
from Swerve. Okay.
Yeah. So I think this match is an escalation of their first match. It's more personal. I'm actually looking forward to this match, not because my thoughts on Hangman Page, but
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see
Swerve.
Because Swerve has done great death matches in Lucha Underground as Killshot, if I'm not wrong. He's not afraid to get his ass beaten up, So this might be a bloody, violent affair. But then again, the problem with AEW is that they have so many bloody, violent affairs that we are all desensitized. So
Right.
let's hope that they, they perform up to the standard that they've set for themselves.
Actually, it'd be very interesting when we watch. Well, personally for me, like when I watch this pay-per-view, right? Because I have been like I said, I've been completely divorced with the AEW product. Like, will it catch my attention? You know what I mean? Like, as someone who has stopped watching altogether.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, what Gaddafi said. So I'm just scrolling up to see, right? He said, I predict Adam turning on Sting, Adam setting up Adam versus Sting for his retirement. Wow, Edge versus Sting, that would be interesting. Yeah, I agree with Irvin. Edge is better as a heel.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one because it's already
let's move on.
Yeah, it's already 2:00. The Golden Jets. Oh boy,
there you go.
What a name! So you know why they're called the Jets, right?
After their Winnipeg Jets, right?
The Winnipeg Jets hockey team. Very.
You were there. You would know. Have you seen a Jets game in person before?
Yes, I have actually. I mean, it's Canada. They love their hockey, and Winnipeg loves their Jets. So the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks. Okay, so there is a stipulation here. If the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. But if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team. Okay, how long have the Golden Jets been a team?
Barely weeks, I guess. Months,
so why is this even a speculation?
It's like a love fest lah. They
stipulation.
love each other. They're from Canada. That's how they form a team.
So what? They can never team again if they like. What kind of stakes is this?
Wait. So that my question is Young Bucks a heel right now? Are they having dissension within the? I know there is some tease of a dissension within the elite. But why did they put their title on the line, and why hasn't the Young Bucks actually challenged for the title since they have the?
Apparently they have the title opportunity. They have the championship opportunity, but that's on the line in this match.
Yeah, they won it. I recall they won like a battle royal or something, right?
Okay,
I know they won some sort of tournament to become the title. But the problem is people didn't want them to win because that would have set up FTR and Young Bucks another rematch.
Right.
That's why FTR dropped the title to Ricky Starks and
Big Bill.
Big Bill, remember?
Yeah.
There's some speculation that there's some politics in play where FTR was like, I'm not gonna fight another title match with Young Bucks, so they dropped it. I have no idea. This is not confirmed, so don't quote me on this.
Does this match
this scenario
does this match intrigue you in the least?
No.
Same.
Not because this is putting any bias I have against the Young Bucks. But let's just be really, really honest. Young Bucks hasn't been involved in any compelling storyline.
Yep.
They are very, very cold. They are like the New Day, in my opinion.
Yep.
I mean, that's the best comparison. Like, they are riding on their name, they are riding on their history. People know them for who they are, whatever they bring to the table. But they haven't had anything interesting in terms of storylines. Probably the last interesting thing that they did was their best of 7 series with the Death Triangle that went on and on and on. Yeah. But they haven't had anything interesting since then. So
I would argue they haven't had anything interesting since they started. But anyway, that's a different conversation altogether. Let's move on then. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Red Velvet or Blue Sky? Sky Blue.
Yes, it's a triple threat. Was it 4-way? Can't remember.
No, it's a triple threat. So it's either Red Velvet or Sky Blue for the AEW TBS Championship.
Okay. Well, again, like I mentioned, Julia Hart actually is to me the second most interesting AEW character that they have. Other than Toni Storm. Something about her gimmick, right? At first I thought, okay lah, just gonna be like a Stevie Nicks rip-off or like an Undertaker rip-off, but she's been proving it in the ring, bro. I've seen some of her recent matches. She has improved a lot in the ring. I give her a bit of like a AJ Lee. I know you never watched AJ Lee perform in the ring, but she has that spider monkey trait to her,
Sure.
Like she can fly around. I think she is a athletically better wrestler than Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost as if it's like Alexa Bliss but better wrestling. I don't know how to say it.
Sky Blue recently healed it up, right? From what I've seen.
Yeah. She, because of the poison mist that Julia Hart kind of like shed on her. That's why she kind of having this kind of weird transition, but still very KIV lah. Haven't completely turned to the dark side yet lah.
Okay, and then of course you have Chris Statlander, the champion, the face.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this one?
I'm excited only because first of all, I love Chris Statlander as a wrestler.
Yeah.
As in terms of storyline, I feel like AEW has let her down because ever since she became TBS champion, they haven't really made the spotlight about her. It's more about people challenging her for the title. But Julia Hart is the thing that interests me about this match, and a lot of people are actually riding on the Julia Hart train, saying that she's one of the most compelling characters of the House of Black. So
Interesting.
there you go.
Speaking of the House of Black, we got two members of the House of Black, the Kings of the Black Throne, in the next match here. So, okay, check this out. This is, oh boy. This is going to be a cluster F match, unfortunately. 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus
House of Black.
La Fashion in Global.
Okay, it's Rouge and
Who
his team
is
lah, basically.
Dralistico?
Rouge and Dralistico. Yeah,
Who the
it's part
frick
of,
is Dralistico?
It's their freaking Mexican gang faction lah.
So has this drastic fella been showing up on TV or not?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
They are their own thing. Okay.
Okay, so we have Starks and Bill versus Rush and Drastic versus FTR versus the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King. Oh boy.
It's a lot of let's be very fair here. All four are great tag teams.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, they are all four of them deserve to be fighting for the title, not Young Bucks.
Okay.
Funnily enough, let's look at logic. Young Bucks has the first shot for the title or has the number one contendership, but they are in a match with their friends. They are not challenging for the title, even though they are actually the number one contender. So the rest are fighting for the scrap. So whatever the booking is, but all four are great tag teams. So,
but you see, this is going to be it's just a cluster F lah. It's going to be a mess of a
I mean, Gaddafi said LFI, Mister. Just call it LFI.
Okay. I like Rush and Drastic better. Anyway, do you see Ricky Starks and Big Bill retaining their championships?
Yes.
Do you see this being a match that people will care about?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you think so?
In the very best case scenario, this will be like a NXT takeover tag team match.
Okay.
In the best case scenario, because none of these people, okay, except for LFI, are like flippers or like acrobats or whatever it is. The rest of them are pretty ground based, right?
That is true. Like, I'm looking at it and just thinking about it now. At least, okay, I haven't seen Brody King work much, but at least you have Malachi and FTR who have had who have worked together before. Ricky Starks, Big Bill, we have a lot of positive things to say about them. Rouge, I think, I've never seen Drastic guy, so Rouge at least got some potential.
Remember when Rouge beat the shit out of Jungle?
Oh yeah.
In that match, yeah. So I love him because of that. So
okay.
I will definitely support whatever he does.
Yeah, but ultimately, it's too many people in a match. It's going to be messy.
It is going to be messy. Let's just hope, again, best case scenario, NXT takeover tag team match.
Okay, let's get to the main event then. MJF versus Jay White. This is the thing they're hanging their hat on, and at the end of the day, man, would I pay $50? Or is it $40? I can't remember how much do these things cost already.
$49.90, I can't remember.
$49, yeah.
No, it's $29.90. It's not that bad.
$30. Oh, okay. I would not pay $30 for MJF versus Jay White. I'm sorry. I would pay for MJF versus somebody else, probably, but not MJF versus Jay White. To me, Jay White has, like you said it right at the top of the, preview for this card. He's the least charismatic of his entire stable.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie now, right? But it's okay. Just some context about this match as well, right?
Sure.
Remember I mentioned about how there's so many people gunning for the AEW World Title, gunning for MJF. What happened on Dynamite last week? There was this horse match, meaty match between Keith Lee and Samoa Joe.
Oh my god, how is Keith Lee now?
Keith Lee is doing better. He doesn't have white hair anymore.
Okay.
But again, criminally underused in AEW. But they had a banger match, in my opinion, at least. They had a good match.
Sure.
It was for the Ring of Honor TV title. Samoa Joe successfully defended it.
Of course.
You want to know what happened next?
What happened next?
After he had a hard-fought match, he successfully defended it against Keith Lee. Keith Lee gave his best shot, failed. Samoa Joe cut a promo and said, "I'm vacating the title."
Okay.
Damn it, you spit the third time.
Almost. Why?
Because he said he wants to focus on bigger fish to fry and go officially declare himself gunning for the AEW World Championship.
I mean, I get the sentiment, but way to shit on your ROH brand.
That's one thing, and way to shit on Keith Lee.
Oh,
Couldn't they just fucking give the title to Keith Lee?
right? They couldn't. Oh my god, yeah, they couldn't even give the title to Keith Lee. They just nope, you're still losing, and he's just gonna throw away the title.
Yeah,
But, my
okay,
God.
the argument being that, you don't want your potential title holder to lose en route to winning the title. I mean,
Sure.
whatever. But they could have done a much better job of like giving the title to Keith Lee lah somehow.
Bro, do it on ROH TV where people aren't watching.
Yeah.
That's the play. Do it on an ROH event where most of your AEW viewers probably not paying attention, and then just have him beat him and then declare or something like that. Like that's a weird call. But anyway,
it's tough lah. But anyway, the point is, the match itself, I'm sure it will be great.
Yeah.
Jay White and MJF, I'm sure they will prove themselves. They can have a banger match. But what interests me about this match, because it's not going to be Jay White, is what's going to happen at the end. Are we going to see the devil appear, like I mentioned previously? They're playing with the devil. Are they going to reveal who is the guy behind the mask? Is Samoa Joe going to be involved? Are we going to see Adam Cole return? Cole turning. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. And that intrigue is the thing that carries the main event, in my opinion.
right. So what you're saying is it's not so much the main event selling the pay-per-view as it is what could happen after.
Yeah, it's like Royal Rumble this year, right? The main event was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, but everyone wanted to know whether Sami Zayn is gonna turn, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Remember at the start of the year,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's that same scenario, lah.
I wouldn't even put it at that level, but okay, at least they had Roman Reigns. Like here, it's like this match is a little bit of a foregone conclusion. Jay White's not winning.
Yeah.
And that makes me not want to buy.
You know what? It's crazy, right? Because Full Gear is supposed to be one of their big events, right? But I feel like I'm more excited for World's End because you know what's gonna happen, right?
What's going to happen at World's End?
You take your timeline, take a time travel back to 2000 when Kurt Angle was a champion. Kurt Angle had every main eventer, Tom, Dick, and Harry, Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, all gunning for the title. How did they settle it? Do you remember?
I can't remember. How?
6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
So you think they're going to do a multi-man specialty match? Has that been announced?
No, they haven't been announced, but don't you see the storylines all leading up to it? He literally have multiple people going after him. He got big guys like Wardlow. He got Samoa Joe. He got Jay White, still not over with it. He got Ricky Starks, who want to put himself out there. I tell you, they're going to have like some multi-man cage and trap show. They're probably going to create their own elimination chamber. I have no idea what it is they're going to do. But I think that's why it's called World's End. It's going to be an Armageddon match.
Okay. I see what you're saying there, and I vaguely remember this match that you're talking about with Kurt Angle right now. It
it's
actually
the one
makes
where
sense.
Rikishi fell on the
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember already the Rikishi haystack deal. Okay, yeah. Someone need to drive a truck in. No, they will just create an area which looks like concrete, but actually is a crash pad, which is fine. You know what? I actually would like to see that. I agree with you. That is more interesting to me than this main event.
Yeah, and Gaddafi, you put the nail right on the head. That is the last pay-per-view he becomes free agent, right?
So the question is, and this is very interesting because of the macro outside politics, right? So will Tony Khan put him over strong because he wants him to resign, or will he freaking just drop him up because he knows he's gonna jump shit?
Exactly. So that main event of World's End, which quote me when this really happens, because so far there's no inkling of this happening yet. But if this does happen, you heard it from Foreign first. World's End, some Armageddon 6-man match for some cage or whatever it is. And regardless of what happens, right, the result will determine whether MJF is staying in AEW or not.
Okay. That's got me interested. But it has nothing to do with the booking. It's more to do with the contract coming up, the real life stuff,
Yeah.
But
I hyped you up for AEW, bro. So you gotta
well done. Only, but not for this one. This one I still don't want to pay money. $30 I can go and watch Captain Marvel twice more. That will probably be more interesting, okay?
For $30, like what our dear friend Lavin just did, he has upgraded his Patreon membership. So shout out to Lavin.
Shadow,
He's our number one guy, our guest of honor, bro.
Absolutely, we appreciate the support right there. And Gaddafi says it is in MJF's hometown as well. Ooh.
There you go.
So spicy. So spicy.
I appreciate it, Gaddafi. Like all of us wrestling lovers, you can see threads from history repeating themselves. So this is what I see. This is what I predict.
Okay, there's our recap. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out on a Tuesday afternoon. It's way past lunchtime right now, so
And
I
it's
know.
raining as well.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's
sure.
raining on the east side here in Bedok.
Okay, okay. I know everyone needs to get back to what they are supposed to get back to, so we say thank you so much for hanging out. As always, if you haven't already joined us on the Discord, we chat more wrestling there. Follow us on our other social media platforms as well, Instagram, TikTok. If you missed the interview bites that we had with Big Dave and Wilson from GrappleMax, you can check out our TikTok account for that.
And of course, next week we will review Full Gear. I mean, regardless of what happens, we'll review it probably. And of course, we will preview SPW Viva La Lucha. We might even have somebody on the podcast to kind of talk about and preview the card as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. But that being said, everybody, thank you so much once again for hanging out. Please go have a great week ahead, and we'll catch you next week right here on the podcast. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Take care.
Open, let me see, John.